Hello, and welcome to Natural Havoc. We are a group of friends and some Twitch streamers or YouTubers. But yeah, we do things on the internet, and we play D&D right here. We play the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition system. We have a lot of homebrew rules thrown in, some monsters, and some abilities that each of these characters have. We've been playing the game for a little while now. This is session 73, which, isn't our first rodeo. So everyone knows how the spells, abilities, and magic items all work, don't we, guys? That's right, confident faces. And on that note, Eagle, would you like to tell us about the socials?
What socials you talking about? I only know the Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and the Discord. All of those. I don't know what socials are, but I do know about the places where you can go talk to us. And you can go to the Twitter where you can tweet at us, be like, "Wow, Onion, I really like your shirt today. Nice button up. You look really just fancy today." I would take you on a date. And you can go on the Instagram where you can also just be like, "Wow, those are some really cool clips you've shared." Also, Tim and Len, congrats. You guys are now amazing parents. And then you go on the Discord where you can add us and you can be like, "Wow, Smitty, we're glad to have you back. We missed you." And then you go on the YouTubes, which are amazing. Erhard does, or Zeb, oh my bad, Zeb does every week. And you can be like, "Wow, Zeb, thank you so much for uploading the VOD so I can watch all these sessions again." Wow, it's just great. It's a great time.
Thanks. So that's it. Also, you may notice there's a slightly different background happening as we enter, one of our final chapters of the story. It's all fitting. We're in Quirin, we're in the desert. Why not make it look a little more deserty? So yeah, that's what we're doing. So without further ado, let's jump into this week's recap, I guess. So, when I pull it up because it's not ready. Our session began with the party returning to Elenastar after their battle with the White Death, and enjoying, finally, a good night's rest. The next morning, the party was to meet with the Echoes once more to speak about the next steps going forward. The party arrived at the Hall of Echoes and were thanked extensively for their services to both Elenastar and Kavok. And the treaties that the party had set out to deliver would be honoured by both. That said, the Echoes had received word that Ariel, the Queen of Ashes, and the people responsible for the attack on Arkenvale were actually amassing an army in southern Quirin. And they were planning to resurrect, according to reports, an ancient dragon that once laid waste to the world. For that, they needed none other than the Orb of Eternal Flame. And the Echoes had already deduced that the orb was in the hands of the party because of its movements around Northern Veritas. The Echoes once again asked the party for help, as combined forces from all of Northern Veritas were already on their way, or beginning to be on their way, to Quirin to intercept Ariel, and they could use the help of the party to end the threat once and for all. The Archdruid could quickly send the party to the Tree of Prosperity in Quirin, and from there, the party would have approximately 2 weeks to get to the southeast, I would say, of Quirin, and maybe they could sway a Quirinese noble or two to join in the fray. The party agreed and started to prepare. They spent their remaining time in Elenastar, shopping, getting some new equipment, and selling off some of the loot that they got from the White Death. Ondros had already asked to borrow Arcturus' scrying orb to maybe see if his father was still alive. He fully expected him to be dead. Instead, what he saw was a grizzled old Loxodon, missing half of his arm, now attached with the head of a battle axe, stood in the middle of an arena in a city in the desert, slaying all of his competitors. After a while, Shion informed Ondros that his father could in fact be in the Quirinese city of Alakash, as the setting did seem familiar. Not long after, the party stepped through yet another portal, but this one summoned by the Elenaston Archdruid. They found themselves between the branches of an incredibly large tree with shimmering leaves dripping with dew. So, as the party stands, I'd probably say at your current point, maybe like 100 or so feet in the air on these thick branches, which are easily 15 foot wide. These big, thick branches of this huge, ginormous tree slap bang in the middle of a desert. With the sand blowing past you and the heat from the burning sun burning down upon your skin. What are you guys doing? Wow, that timing for the music, by the way, was incredible.
Great.
And that was not intended. But yeah, what are you guys up to? As all of you are stood on this tree, and you can feel that the breeze hitting you, and you see the shimmering leaves ever so gently being moved by the winds before you, and the odd bit of sand just kind of grazes you as it drifts past. For Shion and Ondros, this is an all too familiar feeling, although a little higher than you're probably used to. But, you know, the desert sun, the atmosphere, the heat, it all brings a little bit of home back. But for the rest of you, my word, is it hot. Yeah, so what are you up to?
I look at the tree and I sort of inspect the leaves and everything, because this thing, I know it only from stories. And it's like I can't believe we're actually here.
Yeah, and I would say, if anything, it exceeds the stories you once heard. You've always heard stories of this being this huge tree with the dew and the like the colorful leaves that it holds, and how grand it is, and the branches being thick and twisted. But actually being stood on it, looking around, it's clearly one of the wonders of Veritas, for sure. It's one of the very few very sacred places. But as you do think this, you also remember it's also a heavily guarded place. It's a place that only those worthy are allowed permission to enter, let alone be stood on its branches.
So I'll also try and look down a bit without being seen.
So are you stealthing as you go towards the edge?
No, more like, yeah, just peer over the edge a
Okay.
little.
I'll help her with that. I'll help out.
Okay, why don't anyone that wants to peer over the edge roll me a perception and a stealth check, please? I will say stealth with advantage. because
Well,
they wouldn't. Gamers don't look up, you know?
I would send Olaf as a hawk,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's what we summoned. And stealthily also do a perception.
Okay, yeah, go for it. Yeah. You know, a little bird flying around? No one would suspect such a thing, surely.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Oh, I don't have a token for it. Does it have the same stats as an owl? I don't know.
Roll
I
the
think
out
it has-
stats for now, and I'll find out for you. That's absolutely fine.
Like I got the hawk to look at. Like it has essentially similar things,
Yeah.
like the keen sight and stuff.
Yeah, roll for the owl now, and then I'll sort one
But,
out for you. That's fine.
Dex is stealth, right?
Yes. Are
Oh,
you
it has
making-
it has a stealth. It has a skilled stealth for owls usually. Never
Yeah,
mind.
so the hawk doesn't. But are you making the hawk stealth as well then, or are you just making it fly out and
Well,
look?
to kind of stealthily fly out, like
Okay.
not be like rushing down at people or something. Like just
Yeah.
you know, try to
Okay.
avoid being too aggressive about it,
Absolutely
and
fine.
then have a look around. What's perception?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah, and you will get advantage on that.
12.
Okay.
Or if he has any bonuses, I don't know.
Yeah, he just gets advantage,
Cool.
I believe. Okay. So, yeah, as you... Oh, Shion, they were some bad rolls. If you look at Andros's than Shion's, and it's just like, oh, what happened?
Saving my good rolls for later.
Yeah, I like to think maybe Andros, you get closer to the edge, you do the typical Skyrim crouch, and as you like look on over and start to perceive what's below you, you just hear like a clunk next to you as Shion clatters. Oh no, wait, are you wearing your leather now?
I suppose I am, right?
Yeah, so it wouldn't be a disadvantage, but it's still only an 8, unfortunately. So, yeah, you do saddle on besides Andros, and I'll just say, yeah, you lean on like a bit of a branch, and as you do, some of the leaves like fall off of the branch, and you're just like, oh crap, like you just notice this. But as you try and peer over, you're now too worried and watching where the leaves are going to see if it's disturbed anything below. And Andros, you see 100 or so feet down below you. The roots of this tree all twisting and climbing over one another and then digging themselves beneath into the ground. And you see a wall around the entire perimeter, a spiked wall. And as you look down, you can see from this point 4 figures cloaked in white, hoods up, with 2 sickles either side, walking around the base of the tree in sets of 2. So 2 on like the eastern side, 2 on the west, and they're doing a perimeter. What you also see is a pathway from the center of the tree out to a point which looks like a gatehouse of some kind, like a small building, but you cannot see anyone there from where you're stood. Lastly, because you rolled so damn high with a 28, I'll come to you in just a second, don't worry, with Olaf. And as you do look down, you see someone on the tree taking samples of the dew. Also in this white cloak. And as Olaf flies out and tries to, fly down to another branch, take a little look, then fly over to another branch, take a little look, I would say Olaf definitely spots the person on the tree, but doesn't clock the people guarding.
I think he gets a +4 on perception, just as an information.
What the hawk gets.
Hawk gets +4, and I also think he has a +2 and not a +1 like the owl, so theoretically.
Yeah, so that would be
17?
15. A 15, that'd be total.
15?
Because it already gets +1.
Well, doesn't matter. We'll sort it out, but roughly
it's a 15
like that.
total. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. So yeah, as you do perceive and see this, yeah, you see. I'll say with a 15, then you also see those perimeting, but Olaf's vision doesn't catch onto the like gatehouse that's further up. So Olaf doesn't really clock that, but you see the 5 nearby, and Shion, I will say. You see the roots of the tree, and you're like, it's pretty. Look how cool it is. And then Andros maybe says, like, shh, like, there's people down there, and you're like, where? But yeah, you're not quite sure. But while the 3 of you are perceiving and looking at this, Maeve and Arcturus, as the pair of you are stood up on this huge tree, and for Maeve, this is probably the biggest tree you've ever seen, and it's nature, like, it's your jam. Or Jew.
Yeah, Jew. No, Maeve is just admiring this massive tree and like touching it at the
trunk.
What's the word? Trunk? No. I guess. What's the outside called?
The bark.
Bark. Yeah.
On the branch or the trunk?
On the trunk.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think she'd also have a look at what the dew is, if she recognizes it at all. Is this like special stuff?
Sure. Roll me. What would I make you roll? Roll me a either history or nature check. Is what I'll say.
Okay. 11.
Nothing seems to ping in your extensive tree-based knowledge as to what this glimmering, shiny, dew-like residue is. But you would know, based on what Shion has said previously, as you wasn't here for the session, but I'll tell you, is that Shion did believe that it does have some sort of healing properties, or at least that's what the folklores or tales did tell. So it seemed to be a place where people would come if they were afflicted with disease or illness and they had no knowledge of a cure or something like that. This was kind of like a last resort, but only those worthy, based on these people, would allow them to come here.
Is there a part on the bark where I could see myself harvesting some of this in a vial?
The Jew?
Yeah.
You can certainly go for it. Yeah. Roll me a herbalist's check with your wisdom, please, because I think you have the tool proficiency, right?
Yeah.
And use wisdom if it says query attribute.
Oh wow.
Okay. Yeah, you start to get the vial out, and as you do, you start trying to scoop up, but it's so thick that the vials that you have are too small, as the liquid doesn't drip into them, it kind of just rolls over it.
Okay.
It feels like you would need a bigger vial or maybe a tool of some sort to like extract it, kind of like a syringe maybe, where you would like extract it and then put it into a vial of that sort of size. But yeah, unfortunately you're unable to contain it within your vials.
Okay, maybe something for later then. And I'm just gonna stand back off the edge and see what other people are gonna do.
Okay, so what's everyone else doing? As Andros, you see these people. Arcturus, what are you up to?
I'm intrigued by the dew as well. More from like alchemist scientific perception. Not looking to harvest, but like, hey, it's a thick volume, and I'm like, how is this built? What is so that kind of stuff, like touching it and feeling it.
Okay. Do you want to roll me an alchemy check with your alchemist tools? I believe you have some tools, right?
I do. And a query also wisdom, you said?
No, for you it would be intelligence, because it's alchemy. Yeah.
That would be a
Which
21.
you're pretty good at. Yeah, 21. I will say is, you start to examine this Jew and begin to like not test it, but see like you said, the consistency and other things like this. You can see that this could be produced. It's not like drinking per se. You get the feel that this could be, at least in this state, produced into like a balm or a solvent or something that you would apply maybe to a wound. But obviously, some diseases you would know aren't external, some are internal. So they obviously do something to it to make it become this liquidy, because it's more like a really, really thick honey, I would say, as opposed to like a liquid at this moment. So obviously there must be some sort of process that goes into it to refine it to make it that liquid entity if it needed to be. But yeah, do you wish to take some?
I can certainly try.
I will say with the 20 was the DC to try and extract some of this. So I will say with a 21, you do get, I'll say, one vial of this Jew.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm actually surprised because I saw Maeve try it as well and didn't succeed. So I was like, hi, okay, cool.
Yeah, I like to think that maybe seeing her fail in what she was trying to do sparked an idea of how you could achieve it. And I think that's probably how it was. Without that failure, maybe you would never have come to the conclusion to make that assumption. And yeah, that's what you do. You get one vial. So put one vial of tree dew, we'll call it for now. Sure. I didn't know what to quite call it then, because you don't know the properties and stuff. But yeah, I'll say that's what you get. But yeah, Andros, Ahad, Shion, as the three of you are looking over.
I'm gonna just kind of try to move back more into the branch wherever we're on, and then after hopefully everyone convenes. Is everyone?
Well, I'm essentially sitting back against the trunk or something. Like I sent Olaf out and stayed far away from the edge.
I'll explain everything I saw, and then I'll let everyone know like exactly. And I'm gonna look at Shion. And so who are the people in the white cloak?
I don't know, but the Archdruid mentioned something about the 7.
The 7? I only saw 5 by those numbers.
Well, you saw a house, did you not? They might be inside.
Could.
You reckon there's anything like in the tree, or do you think it's just
Well,
like
Don't
don't
look at
know.
me. I've never
some
been
people
here.
they live in trees, right? So
live in trees.
Who
I
lives
think
in
they might
trees?
have
trees?
carved like some kind of worship shrine or something.
I'm gonna look over the edge once again. If I were to try to move downwards a branch, how close is the branch that I know would be like, that can support my weight? So I am 340 pounds trying to sit on this branch.
Yeah, so you would probably have an easier time trying to scale part of the trunk down to
Yeah.
the lower branch. I think some of the others could maybe try to dangle down, but even then, between the branches, it's like 20, 25 foot. To some
Yeah.
of them. It's not a small gap. It's not like a if you think of it like a regular tree, the branches would be like every couple of feet at most.
Mhm.
Because of how big this tree is, the gaps between the branches also are like expanded as well. So it's just like one ginormous tree.
Right.
So you would probably assume that there are a couple of knots in the wood of the tree that maybe you could get handholds down to, but it's not going to be an easy climb.
Yeah. Can I think if I were to get down to the next branch and the others were to try to dangle down to me, could I, with how tall am I, can I make that distance and grab them and safely put them down? Or they still have to climb down the same way I am to a degree?
They would still have to either drop from the branch, and
Yeah.
it'd be gravity versus your ability to catch them,
Yeah.
or they would be better off scaling, and then you could assist when they get halfway down to like the next branch. But yeah, you have options. You
Yeah.
also know, from Shion's stories, if people are caught on this tree and they're deemed as unworthy, the tales say they don't come back.
Can I call Olaf back, or like, well, snip
Yep.
my fingers and just resummon him, and make him like fly, like seeing how Ondros is kind of checking how he can get down. Can I have Olaf more fly around near the tree to see if there's maybe a way down, a path down that we might be able to use that might help us?
Yeah, by all means. You snap Olaf back to you.
Yeah.
Okay, I just need to make a roll.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I didn't think about that.
Bird just vanishes. Okay. So yeah. Carry on. So you snap Olaf back. Olaf appears before you.
Mm-hmm. And let him do what I just said to.
You then send him back up again from the branch that you're on, and he starts to fly around trying to look for a more secure route. What's everyone else up to?
Shion,
Yes.
when you told us about this whole, coming down the tree, don't be caught on it, we're quite strong, and we're, wardens of Arkenvale. What does not worthy mean?
I don't know, but if the archdruid from Alanesta isn't deemed worthy, that man was a million years old. I mean, if he wasn't worthy, I don't know. Would we be? I don't know. Plus, we're already in here. How are we going to explain our presence in here? Like, oh yeah, we just came from.
You don't have any pull with these people.
I don't know them. I have no idea. I've never been here.
Because Arcturus could get 2 people down. No bother.
I mean, we
right?
could.
I actually won, but yeah.
So
I
I mean, what I'm trying to say, somebody could
a hummingbird or something.
Well, that too. I can get us down very easily, but it's not going to be very stealthy if 8 bats are flying around. Giant bats from the tree taking us down. So I'm trying to think of a better way to do this.
With my
Ondros can turn invisible, so that's one.
With my military training, do I see, like, because I know the guards are making a path, do I see anywhere on their path where they meet, and that would be the prime time for us to dip out?
You would notice that what they appear to do And it depends wait, before I say this, how long do you study this pattern?
While we're having the discussion, I am keeping eyes on them.
Okay, so I will say for now, you saw 2 at like the southern point and 2 at the northern point, and the northern point go towards the west,
And they go.
the southern point go to the east, and then they split, and then they go back the ways that they came, and then meet again, and then they do the same again. So at any one point, when they are on the east and the west, they have eyes on the south and the north, and then when they meet there, they split, and then they go the opposite way from their partner and join up with a new partner, and then make another round. These guys, from your experience, this is some what I would describe as heavy shit.
Yeah.
Like, this is clearly planned, very particular.
Yeah.
They don't want people in here from what you are perceiving. This is military organized. These people seem to know what they're doing. They're covering their bases, they're covering every exit. And that's just based on the tree itself. You don't know anything that's going on in the guardhouse. And like I said, you see one person on the tree itself, and they appear to be doing something. While this is all happening and this conversation goes on, Olaf flies around the tree, and as Olaf does, you don't notice an easier climb down, but there do appear to be multiple different options that they could choose. For example, towards the back end of the tree, there look to be more handholds, but a few less branches to go to. Whereas maybe the side that you're on, there's more branches, but less handholds. So it appears to be that one way would be more of a physical endurance, whereas the other could be more dexterous. So one's more brawn, one's more acrobatics per se, from swinging and jumping and that sort of thing.
So
I will relay that to the rest of the party.
They're not looking up. Can we not just fly out? They're not watching us from above. They're just going in a circle on the ground. They're not going to expect us to leave flying. So why don't we just...
I
we
agree,
could-
but where would we go? I don't know which direction to go from here.
We
Do we go
well,
south?
well,
Do we go north?
as long as we're out of here, we can then decide better where to go.
Do we have a map? Did anyone get a map?
Well,
This place is not on any map, I can assure you that. But
Okay. Well, in that case, why doesn't a tourist take someone in their necklace, and then either Shion and I turns into a giant eagle, and then 2 people board the eagle, and we fly off?
where to?
We just go.
I don't know, away from the tree.
Yeah, this is worse to be at right now than anywhere else.
But Erhard and Andros, you both can turn invisible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and Erhard can make someone invisible.
For a minute, yes.
do we need more than a minute?
I have no clue.
When we fly out, and we fly fast.
How big is this
Shouldn't they-
perimeter, Andros?
Mine can last 10 minutes. I'm good on
No,
stuff.
I mean the perimeter
Yeah,
of the
but
walls.
you're
like,
heavy,
how big
and
is it?
I don't
Okay,
think
we have to be
either
quiet when we
you-
talk.
Andros, you're heavy. I'm
Stage
not being
whisper.
rude.
Yeah, stage whisper.
I'm not being rude, but you're the heavy one, so if anyone goes to the necklace, it's you.
Okay, and then what happens? You know what? I will go in the necklace. You guys fly us like out of here. We'll get somewhere safe, and we go from there. I get it. We don't know where we're at, but it's better to be away from here than have to sit up here and hope they don't see us. Because once they see us, we can't get out of here in either way. Now we're stuck in a potential combat.
I can't carry you if you are you and then another person, but I don't know if you know this, but there's 5 of us.
Okay? So you two can
So-
turn into birds, right? Shion and Maeve.
Yeah, but
I go in the necklace.
One giant bird is already weird. 2 giant birds is even weirder. What I'm saying is we take 1 giant bird.
Okay, but
Don't we
Maeve, we
turn
are
into
100
normal?
feet in the air. They're not gonna be able to notice us leaving before we're even already gone. We'll be already gone before they notice anything.
Okay, so
I
simple
don't
plan.
know.
Simple plan. Andros, you go into necklace. Erhard comes with me. Both Maeve and Shion turn into small birds and fly away.
I like that. We gotta pick a
Where are we
direction.
going?
Okay, what
How
direction
far is
are
your
we going?
dimension?
Okay. Okay. Can I register where the sun is right now and give me a good time of what kind of time of day it is?
Roll me a survival check, please.
This could help us figure out where we need to
Because
go.
you are in a different part of the continent.
Yep.
You don't know exactly where in the continent. If you're more to the east, to the west, you have
Right.
no idea. So you could be in a slightly different time zone. You're unsure. You've never been to Quirrell.
16?
16. You look up at the sun, and you know that you left Elenasta
Mm-hmm.
around about midday.
Okay.
You look up. The sun is very high above you, meaning it's around about midday.
So,
So
not
you
like...
feel like you could be in the same time zone.
Oh, this is
The
great.
problem is, because it's midday, you're unsure as to which way's which, because you don't know which way the sun is setting, and you don't know which way the sun has risen.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, you do not know what direction's what.
It's
The
great.
only thing I know is that my home is in the southwest of Quirin. So I don't know how far it is, or
Oh,
But-
okay.
that's a direction we can go in if we really don't know anything else.
We don't know which way's
So,
south.
so, what way is Andros's dad?
We don't
Because
know.
I don't know. Well, no, Shion said about Alakesh or something.
Yes, Certus and Alakash are a long way apart.
Exactly. So which one? Say we're in the middle right now. Say we're smack bang in the middle of Quirin. Which
Mhm.
way would be Alakash?
If we're in the middle of in the middle of Quirin, then Alakash would be quite near. It would be a little bit to our west, I think. Shartusa would be in the southwest.
I'm
and
just saying,
Kakadu
Andros.
would be in the north.
Wouldn't you want, if you get the chance to save your dad and he is on his last legs, wouldn't that be the first place we go?
I agree. I agree. This is a dumb question. Do I see anything out there? Like maybe a city? Maybe some buildings? Maybe something other than the tree and it's just all desert out there?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. This is with advantage. This is a dumb question, but we're hoping for it. 29.
As you look out, you see vast amounts of desert.
Yep. Figured.
The hills. And one of the things that you notice, which is currently behind the way that the guardhouse or gatehouse is, so the opposite direction of that,
Mhm.
you see what looks to be like the only reason you really see it is because of how perceptive you are, but you can just make out what looks to be like tall 50, 60, 70 foot high rocky like terrain. It's not a mountain. It kind of looks more like a plateau where it flattens at the top, but it looks like there is some form of rocky terrain towards that direction, which is the opposite of where the gatehouse is.
I will.
And I will say
Oh.
something that you would also notice a little further afield, because of a 29, there are two rivers that both run towards that rocky terrain.
Okay.
And
I'll.
it comes from behind you, and as far out as the river you can see, it appears to maybe go to something, but the heat has that sort of, that wavy
Yeah.
heat wave effect. And
Yeah.
your vision beyond that point is just, you can't see.
I will relay that to Shion,
Yeah.
and I'll ask, do you know anything near a rocky terrain?
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. TM, do I?
You know that all around Quirin there are plateaus. There are multiple large rocky surfaces that flatten out at the top. You know that Alakash is somewhat close to one, and there is a smaller clump that is not too far from Shartusa itself. There's also a massive amount of them towards the north, near Krakadoon. You also know that there are more to the east, towards Sventas and a few other places. So there's just a lot scattered throughout Quirin.
Yeah, I say that, and it's like, yeah, it's not
Okay,
really something
but
to go on.
that's the best start, though, right? I mean, that gives us at least it gives us somewhat of a chance to reach a city, civilization, somewhere we can actually find where we are and go from there. Readjust ourselves to the area.
Wait, but okay. But if Alakash is west from here, right?
I don't
Potentially.
know.
If it's okay, if it was west, if we were in the middle and it was west, because I think we just assumed that we are in the middle.
I don't know.
How
It could be in the
how many
north.
big
But
rivers
if
are there in Quirin?
Hang on.
That is the Quinlat, and that's basically that's one big river with multiple branching out. But it runs from the Kajami jungle all the way. Wait, the other way around. It goes past all the major cities, bar Krakadoon. It goes past Shartusa. I mean, if we follow the river, we are bound to find a city.
Just go that way.
Sounds like a plan.
What? Okay. Well, why don't we then try and head west a little bit? Best case scenario, we spot a city that could be Alakash. Worst case scenario, we follow the river down south.
Maeve,
And then we probably end up in Shartusa.
Maeve, I'm asking you
Yeah.
a question. Which way is west? From here. Can you
not tell by the sun?
I literally looked and it's right above us still. It's midday. I'm not gonna be able to tell that yet. Which is why I said we gotta look for a landmark and go to the landmark first. Which is why the Rocky Place is the best way to go. Because we know either way we go to the Rocky Place, we're somewhat close to a city. If we keep trying to go off the sun, we're gonna get all disoriented because the sun is directly above us right now. I do not know what. All I can tell you, it's midday. I can't tell you where north. I can't tell you where south is. I can't tell you east or west. We are in a place I do not know.
Well, I vote river. River is life. And I just sit down and wait until they make up their mind.
And as you say that, you realize there are two rivers. One either side of the tree.
And they're
Whichever you
Do
want.
we? Okay. If I have a map of Veritas, I'm gonna pull it out.
I will hand you the map. We
Thank
do
you.
have a map, right?
Of the whole of
There's one in
Veritas?
there.
Yes, an unmarked map is what you have.
Yeah.
Is that what is in our handouts?
Yes, it is.
I believe
Without-
so, yeah.
And
No
there's two
markings on it.
rivers.
Just yeah.
There's two. Well, but with the rivers as we
Yeah.
see them on the handout, we see them.
Yeah, you would see the rivers on the handout.
Okay. There's a place here where two rivers meet. And I look around the tree. Does it look like the rivers meet into one?
From
As a-
where you're stood, you can't tell.
We just see two rivers come together.
Is there
Is there anything that looks like a tree?
Yeah, if you wish to try and perceive on the map itself, I'll need a perception check of your surroundings. But from what Andros has just told you, he can't see it because of the heat wave and the sort of
Okay.
wavy effect. Because it's so hot,
Okay.
it's the vision of distance is difficult.
I guess I can
Okay.
point out where the major cities would be.
Yeah, you definitely could do.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think I'm sorry. Just stick to the water then.
So
Like
where
I
would
said, it's
where,
life.
where would major cities be around this crude map, Shion? Roughly, where would we head? Following the flow of the river, or
Hang on, yeah, because I got like the Quirinese map in front of me and not the
Let
not the
me-
one you have.
Give me 2 seconds, and I will just do exactly that so you can see what everyone sees. Just bear with me one moment. Just a quick, edit on the fly
Sorry.
right here. No, it's all cool. I should have probably prepared this before, but I wasn't sure if you were going to be looking at trajectories of the sun, and sometimes you guys just go, let's go that way. So, I should have been better prepared. I apologize. Give me 2 seconds.
I think we're dumb.
while we discuss this, Erhard would just hand out a parasol to each member of the party, like shield you from the sun. I got this in the city.
Thank you. It's a nice color.
Yeah, it suits you.
I'm just gonna sit back. I'm just gonna watch the guys below. I'll let them decide what we do from now. I'm just gonna watch below.
I'm nearly done. Cool. Let me save that. Real quick edit on the fly there. Okay, I'm just uploading it to Roll20 now. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so yeah, you guys are keeping an eye on the guards below, and yeah, as you watch them, they are still making the same rotation patterns. And in this whole time that you've been here, which at this point I would say has been, 40 minutes you've been up on this tree, just discussing things, collecting some dew, making some plans. You guys are currently out of sight, but you guys are still chatting. Olaf is still flying around. What are you guys doing during this time? By all means, speak to yourselves while I quickly do this thing.
Yeah. Maeve, can you talk to the tree?
I don't need to ask Onion, but I just need to ask out of game because I wasn't here last session. Did we find out that we were traveling to a tree the day before?
Yes.
Okay, so Maeve would have had time to prepare, speak to plans.
Oh. No, you found out the morning of.
The day.
You did find the morning of. Yeah, this morning.
Oh yeah,
that's-
morning. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would have had it prepared. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't think that's fair. No, I didn't know that we were going to a massive tree, because otherwise I definitely would have been able to, because I would have loved to talk to this thing.
This tree probably knows a lot.
Oh yeah, it looks like, in the best way, it looks old.
And in the middle of a desert, that's quite surprising.
Its root system must be extremely.
Well, it's right next to these huge rivers, right?
There we go.
Well, that's true, but
Yeah, so
As
that
this
map
is the information that you have of the big map. So this is what you look down upon of, this is the section of Corwin.
yeah, that map is literally what we see.
yeah.
There's literally a tree on this map. It's probably there.
There shouldn't be.
You're looking at
There's not a tree on this map.
No, that's a different one.
Yeah,
There definitely isn't a tree.
it's the one that's currently on the screen right now, like the actual
on
main
screen. On
Yeah.
like battle map essentially.
on Roll20.
Yeah. Oh, I got it now. I got
Yeah.
the parchment.
Yeah,
map
you took
of
the handout.
The parchment map of Veritas.
Yeah, that one has a tree on
That
it.
one has a tree.
It does. Shouldn't do, but it does.
Let's ignore it.
We're ignoring that.
This is what you see.
So where are the cities?
Okay. Do you see?
You can draw on this, I believe.
You
as
know,
well, if you
north,
wanna-
south,
yeah.
whatever. You know.
You see here. This is where this is basically the only way into Quirin by sea, because there's mountains like all over the place here. So this is where the Blackwater is, and from here it's only a little bit north to Chartusa, which is over here. Alakash would be around here near these mountains. Krakadoon is all the way up in the north, and then there's the Rabble in Sventas, which would probably be around somewhere around here.
Now,
Where we need to go
There's a draw tool.
would be here.
What's down there?
This is where supposedly the armies are gathering.
Okay.
Oh,
But
is
that's
it?
in 2.5 weeks.
Yes, but yes, this is the Blackwater. This is Chartusa.
Wasn't it
Alakash.
at the Kujami jungles that the army was gathering?
The
Like, isn't
Kajami
that more
jungles
to
are
the,
all
like,
the
getting
way up,
out
all
of
the way up
Durham?
here.
Like,
Yeah.
over
Yeah,
there?
you would know that this river does flow to the Kajami jungles, and that
Yeah.
would be where the border is. So it would be, if you followed this river, where that green square is, if you went that way, that's probably somewhere around there where they'd be meeting.
Okay. Right.
now, like, looking at this map, that mountain range I saw, does that look like the mountain I'm seeing on this map? Like, can I?
No.
Nope. It's different.
So you can see what looks to be like plateaus. According to this map, they have peaks. So this is something different. So the plateaus are not marked on the maps.
Right.
On this map, what you gather from the map of the whole of Veritas, it is a very rough map of mountains, rivers, land and ocean, and forests and jungles. Other than that, they don't have anything else on these maps. And it is obviously someone that has drawn it that maybe, didn't have too much detail of Quirin especially, because not many people go in and come back out unless they stay there or escape.
So from your description, we like at the fork of a river, like
You
around
would assume,
this
so
kind
you
of
can see
areas.
a river either side of you. You
Yeah.
would definitely assume from looking at this, you're either here,
Yeah,
all the way down here, or you're up here,
somewhere up there,
because they are the only two logical, or
or
potentially
maybe over there. I
here.
don't know. But then you
but
would be
yeah,
closer to mountains.
Yes, but you're not close enough to mountains for that. So yeah, it's either at this bit here, at this point, or it's this point here for sure.
You said that Ondros can see the flow of the river, though, right? That it's flowing towards the mountain, I think you said.
It's flowing towards the plateaus that he can
Yeah.
see.
So okay.
And you would know that if it's come from a mountain, just looking at this map,
The flow
that would
down.
insinuate that it would come from the north-south, is the way that the rivers are flowing.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll just put a little marker on of a little red circle for now. But it's either here, very crudely drawn, or here. My
You know, there's a
circles are
circle
great.
shape that you can
Wait,
use.
is there actually?
Yes, there is.
Oh, wait, is there?
So
Like right
Oh, there
there.
is. Okay. Okay, cool. I'll tidy it up. Tidy it up.
so either way, we should just
Oh.
go.
Oh no!
Either way.
Saw nothing. Saw nothing.
I'm blind now.
I'm
So
gonna take you over here while I just fix that.
yeah, let's
either way, I would think then knowing that, now looking at the map, we just go below it, right? And then see where we're at from there and then adjust?
That sounds like a plan.
Personally,
But-
I
sorry.
trust Ondros' judgment.
But below, does that mean below the tree or?
Like go south.
Oh.
wait.
Okay.
May I
So
do
now
a
we know what
suggestion?
south is. We now know what south is.
May I do a quick suggestion? What we also could do is just like teleport around the edge and ask for directions.
We
You mean
could.
outside the parameter? and
Outside the
try to
parameter.
seem like we
Probably
are.
there will be like pilgrims around here, or maybe they will like give us entrance because we ask nicely. And if they don't, we can ask them, "Hey, where's this city? What direction are we going to?"
Yeah, big brain.
Sounds like a plan.
Arcturus has dimension door. Just dimension door down there, outside the parameter, and then whoever's with him will ask them where we are.
But we would
But you
just
can-
be appearing out of thin air.
And
I mean,
can
no,
you
we
take
do
all
it
of
far
us?
enough. No, it has to be one. He can only take one.
Well, there you go then. And there's still 4 of us stuck. How are you gonna explain
Three of
that to
us.
them?
It'd be 3 of us stuck. The 3 of you guys just fly where we said go south, and then we'll meet up
And then
down
where
there.
are you gonna go?
Me, if it's actually
He's
two
in
of you,
the-
because he can go into my necklace, I can
Yeah.
take Erhard, and you and Shion fly away.
Right. And then how are we all gonna meet up? Because when we're 2 birds, we go way quicker around than you guys.
Okay. You
Arcturus,
can.
wouldn't it be more sensible
Maybe we
to
can meet near the river.
if you take Shion? She's from here, right? And she knows how to talk to people that are below her station.
At least I know Quirinese customs.
Also, can you two not turn into small birds and just be flying around the area to watch us? And then when you see us walk away from the people we're trying to talk to, you guys meet down with us and then turn back into yourselves. Like,
We could, but it could be a pretty large perimeter, is what I mean.
yeah, but he can dimension door quite a bit away. So it's like, so he has to get the information either way, right? We have to talk to somebody.
Shion, you turn into.
I
or
think
you
we're
turn
overthinking
people
this.
into
Yeah.
birds by polymorph, right?
We just
Yeah,
stick to
I
something.
I
and
could-
go with
I
It
it.
doesn't have
I
to be
could-
yourself.
No, I can change you if you like, or anyone.
We're overthinking this. Also, we have Olaf and Kada. They can alert us when we all need to meet up. You know what I mean? Like, if let's say Arcturus goes, Erhard can give Olaf to Arcturus, so by the time we're done with the talking, Arcturus can see through Olaf's eyes of where we are, and we can just meet. It's either way, right? We can figure this out. This is not bad, all right? Also, Shion, never mind. Anyway, we should be fine. I think we're overthinking this.
So we want to announce our presence, at least, is what you're saying.
Not up here, no,
Well,
out
someone
there,
going down with
outside the place.
Yeah.
We can, like, we are just travelers on a magical way, and we found this tree. We don't know what it is because we're not from around here.
Oh, okay.
So you don't want to go
know
with
what?
Shion. Okay,
you
I'm
guys
going
do
with
whatever
Arcturus.
you do. I will stay up here and I'll figure it out because I can fly to you, okay?
Arcturus, put me your necklace, please. I'm done. Put me your necklace. I walk up to Arcturus.
Here we go. Bloop, bloop.
I'll go in
You should do
willingly.
that more often.
It's quite nice having him. Oh wait, he can still hear us, by the way. So who's coming with me?
Well, I guess if we're posing as travelers who don't know Jack about here, then I guess I'm coming.
Shion, you okay with this?
I can turn into a bird. I mean, if you want someone that knows Pyrenees customs with you, then
I should go with you and I'll change Erhard into a bird.
Then I would prefer you to change Erhard to a bird.
Okay.
Cool.
Erhard's okay with turning
I'm
into
good.
a bird.
I'm good.
So to clarify,
Yes.
Arcturus puts Andros in the necklace, and then Arcturus comes back out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
You can't go back in the necklace. Oh. Shit.
so that happens. So Erhard and Arcturus are teleporting down.
No, Erhard turns into a bird and Shion goes with Arcturus.
So
as far
who's
as I-
turning Erhard into a bird?
Shion.
Okay. So Erhard turns into a bird. Shion, what are you doing? Going down with Arcturus.
yeah, I suppose that was the plan. Yeah.
Okay. Maeve, what are you doing?
I'm staying with Erhard in the tree for now.
But
just
he's
to
a
see-
bird.
I'm gonna be a bird, yes.
I'll speak to
So
animals.
is Maeve. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll use speak to animals as soon as he turns into a bird. So I can like, hey.
Okay, not a problem. So, Andros, just so you're aware, you can hear everything and you can see everything within a 10-foot radius of Arcturus.
Okay.
So you can see and hear. Just so you're aware, if you do not wish to be contained, you can try to break out.
Yeah, I know. I'm good.
Just so
I'm
you're
good.
aware. So if
Yeah.
you do want to break out at any point, you let me know because then we can make.
I will
rolls.
let you know when I want to do that.
You can always try because
Uh-huh.
for yours, it looks like you're in like a room, but there's like a big glass window that you can see everything out.
Oh,
of.
that's
So you
great.
can always try and break through the window.
Mhm.
Like that's absolutely fine. Okay, so Arcturus, you grab a hold of Shion, and
Mhm.
you will teleport 500 feet. Where?
If you have, you have the gate from the perimeter.
Yeah, so there's the gatehouse, which is a long road that leads up to the tree itself, and then
Mhm.
there's a walled perimeter all the way around and pathways all the way around the tree, which are being guarded, and then
Yeah.
there's spiked walls around, pardon me, the outside of this tree.
Exactly, and then there's like one entrance probably in the perimeter.
There's the gatehouse right at the top end. It's the only entrance and exit.
The only entrance, okay. So I will choose the right side of the perimeter, and
Okay.
then the outside of it, and then we can just walk back to the gatehouse.
So you're gonna outside of the wall, yeah?
Outside of the wall, not
Okay.
inside the perimeter. Outside
Just,
the perimeter.
just double check it. Absolutely fine. Okay, so you grab a hold of Shion. You both dimension door. You then appear on the outskirts of the wall with the sand between your toes. And then what?
This feels so good.
It's very
This
hot.
feels so weird.
It's very, very hot. Yeah. Luckily, you are wearing footwear that is stopping it from being direct. But if anyone is wearing like open-toed shoes or anything like that, occasionally a bit of sand gets in between or something like that. But yeah, it's up to you guys. So you guys start walking up the wall towards the gatehouse.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Not a problem. Both roll me a perception check, and Andros, you can roll one as well, but you only get a 10-foot vicinity of Arcturus.
Can I see, like, knowing roughly which direction they were going in? Can I at least see, like, dots on the ground where they've
Roll me a
landed?
perception check.
Perception,
Yes, please.
guidance.
My rolls are terrible.
Yeah,
I
you've
got
rolled...
I got an
Yep.
inspiration though from Emma.
Nice.
Wow, it's a 9.
Okay, you do not see them, Maeve.
Can
Okay.
You've
Olaf
lost sight.
see
You've
them?
lost visuals. Do you command Olaf to?
Can I while I'm polymorphed?
Technically, it's a mental command, right? So you
Yeah.
could do, yeah. You telepathically
Sure,
speak with him.
I'll tell him to just check where they, or if he can see where they are. Not fly close or anything, but just.
Oh,
can
you
see.
do gain the intelligence of the bird
Oh, well then
because
I
you
don't.
are polymorphed.
Then honestly, I don't.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
I would
yeah,
just
would
fly
guess-
around Maeve.
Yeah,
I know
Okay.
who Maeve is.
you do. You know she's a friend. Yeah, she helps a lot. So woohoo! So you just start flying around Maeve. Maeve, you are distracted by the bird and can't see.
Great.
Shion, Arcturus, you two thinking in your heads, right, what are we going to say? What are we going to do? We're going to come to this gatehouse. We're not supposed to be here. We're not worthy. You got all these thoughts going through your mind. You're just concentrating on the objective. Andros, within 10 feet of Arcturus, you see a lot of sand. And that's it. And Shion. But yeah, you guys curve round to the front. It takes a good 10 minutes just to walk up to this gatehouse. And as you peer around, you see inside the gatehouse one figure sat on a stall with two what look to be like overly sized scimitars, which curve like a sickle at one end. And they are just resting on this open. It's not like a building that's like a proper enclosed building. There's like a hatch at the front, and you can see these two blades like crossed, just sitting on the hatch. And he looks up towards you and he says, "You, what is it that you do here? Why are you here? This place is off limits."
I raise my left hand. I trickle down. I just say, "May the rains bless you. We are just looking for directions to Shartusa."
Roll me a persuasion check, please. As you definitely see he starts to stand, and you see at this point he's like 6'4". He's like quite a built, and looking at him, he looks maybe human or half elven, but you can't see the ears because they're covered by this like white cloak. But as you say this, he says, "You're far from Shartusa. At least 6 days.
6 days.
Yes, south from here." And he points past the tree, the other direction to where the gatehouse is.
Very well. That's all we needed to know.
"Be on your way. This be sacred ground. Do not try to enter. If you do, it is certain death."
Well, we wouldn't want that. And I just walk in the direction that he tells me to.
And you guys start walking back, and yeah,
We'll give
you
him a
hear
bow
all of
and
this.
I'll- yeah.
Yeah. He speaks common. He doesn't speak a language that none of you know, so he does speak, because he doesn't know that you're from here. He's just speaking a common tongue.
I'm just afraid to say something bad, so I'm just holding my
Mhm.
mouth shut and let Shia
Yeah.
do the talking.
Yeah, and you guys peer back around the wall and start making your way. Maeve, Berhard, Birdharv, what are you guys up to?
Well, since Maeve couldn't see
Still
Arcturus
can't.
and Shion, still can't. I'm still like, she's gonna speak to Erhard in Bird. And she's like, Erhard, listen to me carefully, okay?
Uh-huh.
Do you understand?
Uh-huh.
Great.
She does cast. You cast the
So I
spell.
can
Speak with animals.
But how
So-
intelligent
It's my
is this
ability,
speech
the
of
one
animal?
today.
So you can speak, but just remember you have the brain of a bird.
Yes, May friend.
I am going to turn into a bird just like you. Okay? And we are together gonna fly out. And I want you to follow me. Okay?
Bird friend, I follow. May friend.
Even when I'm a bird, I'm still Maeve, okay?
I know Maeve.
Very good. And she'll turn into whatever bird Earhart is.
Ahad. Please roll me a d20.
Why? That 20!
Very good going, because Maeve disappears before your very eyes, and then a bird appears, and you get a little bit confused for a minute, and then you think, Maeve bird. And now you know Maeve is the bird.
May bird!
Yep.
And I flicker
just-
around her very excitedly.
Yeah.
May bird.
Well, I don't know what birds we are. I
I have
assume
no clue.
small ones.
Shion, tell me what bird you transformed Ahad into, please.
Kind of like probably a local bird that I saw in Chartusa somewhere, like, you know, tropical.
Oh my god, parrots!
Yeah, like colored,
Sure.
colored feathers, but not too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
like a green parrot that I saw somewhere.
Yeah, sure. We'll say a green parrot. Why not? That's what Ahad looks like. And what do you look
And
like,
then-
Maeve?
Well, because he's a green parrot, I now know what a parrot is.
Yeah,
But can I make myself a blue parrot?
of course. Yeah.
Okay. This is a green and a blue parrot.
Nice. And then,
And,
as you're both on this branch, a hawk lands beside you both.
Actually,
Olaf friend.
oh, Olaf, friend.
As Arcturus and I are walking, can I sort of use my sending ability that I got from Malakesh to sort of contact Maeve to tell which side we're going?
You certainly can, yeah.
Well, that's what I
So
do.
you say, we are heading in this direction,
Yeah.
away from the gatehouse, the other side of the tree, I'll
I
say.
don't
Something,
know.
you say something along those lines. And Maeve, you hear this voice in your head.
I don't know if Bird Maeve can understand, but yeah.
I can, but I don't know if I can reply.
You can reply mentally. You don't have to speak it, so you can reply.
Okay. So I say, got it. 2 birds, blue and green, will come down. It's us.
Good to know.
That's what you hear. And I nod to Erhard, and I just start sort of casually gliding down. Not you know, like it made to look aimlessly a little bit, but in the direction of Shion and Arcturus.
I will flicker around her excitedly, almost like a mating dance. And Olaf, is like gonna kind of float behind us somehow.
Mhm. Well, it's funny that you say this because Shion being from this part of the world, you see, after another 10 or so minutes of you walking back in that same direction, 2 parrots, one green, one blue, being chased by a hawk, which hawks are natural predators of parrots.
Oh shit.
Well, you guys
And
saw Olaf before.
You did
I'll
see
land
Olaf,
on.
but Olaf isn't a special looking hawk, he looks like a regular hawk.
No, he's very fancy looking, we said. Very nice.
But you said hawk colours, so it's like a normal hawk, but a nice hawk, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll land on Shion's shoulder, and I'll make a sound, and I don't know what's gonna come out because I'm a parrot, but I'll make a sound.
Ah,
Can
this
parrots
must be,
imitate speech?
this must be Maeve.
I'll raise
And
my
you
hand.
hear, this must be Maeve.
Yeah, parrots have limited mimicry, so they can, say a word or two. They can't say like they can't have go into like a full blown sentence, but they could say a few words like a yes, no, that sort of thing, like you said, a repeat of a phrase or something. Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
Shion knows what she turned me into, so she would know.
Yeah.
You can land on my arm if you like.
Sure, I will land on
You
Arcturus.
wouldn't raise suspicion.
Arceus.
And the hawk lands next to you, like on your arm as well. Arcturus.
Right near,
Yeah, right next to the parrot.
Yeah, I'll take the free ride. So I'm still a parrot.
Okay.
While,
So
while walking, I'm just also whispering to the necklace. Andros, I know you can hear me. I was a bit off with calculations. Just make yourself comfortable for the ride. Huh? There's a lot of pillows. Take a nap or something. We'll be fine.
I'm already asleep. I went to sleep. As soon as I went in.
I will say, yeah, it's very cozy in
Mhm.
there, and the temperature super nice. Bearing in mind,
Yeah.
you're used to the heat, but outside was quite hot in the blazing sun.
Mhm.
This might have air conditioning, whatever
Yeah.
that is, but it
I'm
might
just-
have it.
I'm chilling, just sitting back sleeping.
Yep. Load of cushions.
Mhm.
It's like silk cushions, and there's a couple of like.
I'll let them
yeah,
deal with the
it's real
problems. If they
cozy.
really need me, they'll holler. I'm just napping.
The biggest problem is the bed could be a little bit bigger in here.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to it.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys start heading south of the tree, whichever direction that is. Well, this then becomes an interesting task because travel conditions. So, due to the fact that we are in a desert, someone needs to lead this expedition. And unfortunately, in this current situation, we only have 2 available members. So, who would like to lead out of Arcturus or Shion through the desert?
Well,
Or you could end your
Shion-
spells and then the others come back, but yeah, it's up to you.
oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna end my spell.
Okay.
And
So-
I'm just, what?
Yeah, as Erhard just kind of
I
like,
just hug his arm.
Yeah, you kind of like kind of fall. So Erhard is also now available, but
'Cause
maybe
we're gonna be needing it. We're gonna be needing his hut.
Mm-hmm.
That was
So
interesting. And I spew some feathers.
So it's a long way. It's a long way, but I'm pretty sure that from Shartusa we can get to Alakash eventually and get to wherever we want or need to go quicker. But it's 6 days. It's a 6-day travel.
So we should try to make haste.
Yeah.
Make haste! Make haste!
Okay, so who's leading? You now have Erhard in the mix as well.
Which doesn't help you at all.
I guess from like a geographic/cultural standpoint, I would lead, but I suck at anything survival related, so.
Well, if you are leading, you will become the scout of this particular part of travel. And being a scout, I require a survival check, please. And anyone else that would like to help in this regard, you can't help Shion as an assist, but you could be lookouts to look out for
I
potential
will-
danger or hazards.
I will give her some inspiration.
Nice.
We're fine, we're fine.
You get an
I,
inspiration die for the next 10 minutes.
So yeah, is it a D6?
It's a d6 to any d20
Yeah.
roll, essentially.
You may as well add it because you won't be able to use it unless you do something else in the next 10 minutes.
But
I
didn't we
say-
also get one from chat?
That's a different one.
It's a different one.
That's a
D20, right?
D20 reroll,
yeah,
so you
yeah.
could reroll a dice, yeah.
So that's a d6 on top.
If you wish to use it, you don't have to, but you only have it for 10 minutes.
I stayed a parrot for a reason, and it was so I could fly around.
Okay.
So I know I can't communicate it back to her per words per se, but I wanting to fly up and just scout around as well.
Absolutely
Olaf will
fine. yeah.
join her.
Okay, so Olaf and Paramave. I don't know how to know. Mayvarut.
Mayvarut?
Hooray!
I'll send Kata as well.
Cater as well. Okay, I'd like perception checks from all of those then, please. And I would then like if Arcturus and Erhard wish to assist as well, both of you to roll perception checks as well, please. As all of you are just trying to keep an eye out for things.
Well, essentially, I'm doing through Olaf. I'm not gonna do.
Oh, okay, yeah. So are
Um,
you looking through his eyes?
So he has a wisdom +2
It's
and a
plus 4.
perception +4.
Yeah,
Like,
so
what
that's
the
just a
feat
plus 4 for
says?
perception.
Oh, okay, just +4. Okay.
Yeah, because it's +2 doubled because it's proficient in it.
So I
fine.
press. What do I press?
If you press the persuasion
weird.
thing, if you just press persuasion, not persuasion, perception. on the sheet,
Perception. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Let-
then it
let
will
me do
roll the
that
plus 4.
then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You're doing
So
it
that's
on
a
the
+3
owl.
on the owl. So +1 for
I've-
the hawk.
I've given you the sheet, haven't I?
Oh, sorry, I didn't.
I think I might not have done it. Let me just double check.
Matt, also
No,
in the
it's not
meanwhile,
there, sorry.
I think Kata is broken.
Okay, I'll sort Kato out in just a sec. Let me sort Olaf out. So many issues.
Sorry.
There you go. Erhard's done. Olaf's there now. What's wrong with Kada?
It's just a flat roll without the +3 perception. So I roll a 5 on a d20.
What did you click? Did you click perception?
The perception, yeah.
Oh yeah. But it says +3. Let me delete it and add it back on. No. Okay, we'll just have to remember +3. For some reason, that's not working. That's not a me thing this time.
No, that's an 8 for Kata.
Okay, so 8 for Kada. We have a. I'll take the first one.
Yeah, sorry. That
14. No, that's
makes
okay.
everything
So
weird.
it's +3 on top of that. So that's an 18 for you. And everyone else. Okay. Well, for the first half. Oh, no. Andros. As you don't need to roll, I think. Why don't you roll me a d20, please, my guy? Okay, interesting. For the first half of your day, you travel. Well, second half, technically, because you're already halfway through a day. You travel south. Or at least south of a tree, should I say. Are you following a river? Or are you walking through the desert? Shion, as the guide. Where are you guiding these people?
Oh, we're absolutely following the river.
Which river? The left-hand side of the tree or the right-hand side of the tree? Which one do you decide to follow?
I'm gonna say the right-hand side of the tree.
Okay, not a problem. I'm gonna shove the party token here then. As you guys begin traveling down.
Wait. I was thinking.
If you're going south, right
from,
side of the tree
from
would
yeah,
be.
from the other one.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah, not a problem. So you
From
guys.
our perspective, like the right.
Yeah. You guys travel for 6 hours. And as you begin traveling further and further away from the tree, it begins to go out of sight. And the plateau that you are now walking towards begins to get bigger and bigger. However, as you see the sun begin to set in the west, which is the side of the tree that you guys are on, you notice nothing. As you start to creep into nighttime, and a bitter cold starts to hit the desert. As you start to come to this nighttime, you are all very tired. The sun has made it very difficult to keep going at a pace that you would usually travel at. You're used to doing long distance traveling. You have been doing it for quite some time now as you traveled all over northern Veritas, but these deserts, they don't make it easy. But you are by a water source, although maybe not the cleanest. But yeah, it comes to nighttime. What do you guys do? Do you want to push on through the night? Or are you looking to make camp? and settle down. And I would
I
say
would
during this, just towards the end of this walk, Maeve, you would have come out of power form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would suggest taking the night, have a rest, so we can have the company of Andros again in the morning.
Yeah.
Yay.
Unless you guys are fine with him not being around, but
So if we do set camp, I will make a parameter for Leoman's tiny hut.
Okay, yeah, you start setting up. What color would you like it?
What color is the sand? Like brownish gold?
Yeah, it's like a golden sort of shimmer to it, yeah.
I will do that.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, nice. You make a very nice opaque bubble by the sand. And within, the temperature is definitely warmer than it is outside because it is very
It's
cold.
nice and cozy.
Yeah. And yeah, as you guys begin to bed down for the evening, you find it slightly difficult because you're so used to being on a harder ground. The sand makes it a little bit more difficult to set up your various camping supplies and utensils. And for the first time in a while, Galoin isn't there to do it for you. As you're all having to set your own campfire up, your own bedrolls, fetching water, fetching firewood, which is very difficult to find here. But there is the odd piece of driftwood that you do find, not driftwood, but drifting pieces of wood that just scatter maybe the remnants of an old wagon that was partially damaged in these parts, and you find like a wooden panel which you break up and throw down into a fire. And yeah, you all bed down for the evening. And I think
My
that's
book.
you read your book. Yeah, not a problem.
I don't need to sleep. I
Um,
read my book.
That is true. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
As
yeah.
we sat down, I would like to play with my little artifact plaything, the Cathalon's artifact puzzle.
Okay. Yes.
So
Have you been making notes of how
Yeah.
your progress on it so far?
Yeah.
What's the progress looking like?
two successes so far.
2 successes. Okay. Well, roll me. I believe is it a flat intelligence check?
I think we used to do intelligence, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's flat intelligence. You succeed. It takes a little time, but after 45 minutes, you click another ring into the ball.
All right.
So that is 3 successes. Please mark that down.
Yep.
Okay, brilliant. And yeah, you guys bed down for the evening. And unless there's anything else anyone wanted to do before you guys rest, I
How
will say.
Well, I guess I would, if anyone else is not like bedded down. First of all, should we talk about what you call goddamn watch time stuff?
I don't need
Do-
to sleep. I
Okay.
can just read my book and take and watch, so you guys can sleep. It doesn't matter.
So
We don't really need it with the hut either, do we?
well, not really. Yeah, and I mean we're in the middle of nowhere.
I'm awake. If something happens, well, I can just wake you.
Awesome,
Who,
awesome.
who has that alchemy jug? Is it in the? Is it no? It's too big for the bag
Well,
of
if-
empties, right?
If no one says anything, I'm going to say Andros had it, and Andros is inside
Probably.
the necklace.
He's drinking away.
He is
in
the one that
necklace.
carries the heavier stuff, and it's a bit larger,
I
so
think
I'll
he
say
picked
Andros
it,
has
yeah.
it.
Anyway, and so we're heading to Shashtusa. That's where you're leading us, Trion.
Well, yes.
All right. Well then,
Home.
have a good rest.
Home at last.
Then lie down.
I will also contact
Oh.
my father to say I'm on my way. 6 days from now I'll be in Chartusa.
Oh, you tell him 6 days from now? Okay, wait there 2 seconds.
Or at least like
Yeah,
Roughly.
yeah.
roughly.
Yeah, he confirms that will be the 27th of Dias, which will be the date that you arrive.
Oh, okay. Hang on. I'll sort that shit out
Yeah,
during the
that's
break.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we will, yeah, we're gonna cut to a break. I think that's the best time to cut to a break. So we're going to take a quick, I say 5 minutes, but it's probably be 10-minute break. And yeah, we'll be back in a bit. Grab some snacks, grab some food. See you in a minute. Bye. Hello. There was a pause in the timer of when we were coming in. So I wasn't sure if we were going. So I just thought I'd say hello at a time. So hello, welcome back. We're Natural Havoc. We just had a small little appearance of Patty Max, I think, come running in then. But
I got
yeah.
a smoothie.
Nice. So yeah, we are back. Tell us what drinks, tell us what snacks you got. Smitty got a smoothie. I went and got some Fanta lemon. What did you guys get?
Some
We
sort
got
of
some
Chip
mango,
Frisken.
mango and lime cider.
Nice summer bees as well. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, I love that one.
And it's pretty fitting because Shion is actually in Quirin and she's drinking mango, so...
Nice. I would just like to point out, why the freaking hell are you eating a smoothie with a spoon?
Because it's too thick. It's an iced smoothie.
Ice cream?
Iced. It's frozen fruit out of a blender.
Sure. Anyone else? Chat.
So good.
Anyone in chat? You got anything weird? Is Amma here? Amma's here, right? You got a nice
nice
cold
cold
beer.
beer. Love it.
Ooh, that sounds good. I had a cider
Nice.
for my first drink, so yeah, I'm all about that. Okay, cool. Right, well, we're gonna kick things off as the night rolls in, and well, quickly reading up on some technicalities of an ability. Andros, as you all bed down for the evening, just falls out of the necklace as he is only allowed in there for a limited amount of time, and is quite close to Arcturus as they both fall asleep. And I think Andros mistakens Arcturus maybe for a pillow of some kind at some point. And yeah, but Shion, as you see all of this happening and reading your book, I believe with another 8 hours, are you?
Oh yeah, full-time reading.
Yeah, are you done? How close are you? You're pretty close, right?
Oh, hang on.
I want to say you were like 10 hours off, so it might just be another
Yeah,
couple.
something like that.
I think you're very, very
Let
close.
me see. 9, 18, 27, 37, 38. I'm on 45. Wait, 35. Well, hang on. I can't count.
So add 8 to whatever you're on now.
27, 37. Oh, I was already at 48, at 45. So I'll probably have finished
You'll
the book
finish
by
it.
then.
Yeah, you'll
I'll
finish it then
finish
because
it.
you need
Yeah.
48 hours. Yeah. So as you complete the book, your charisma score is increased by 2. So please make that note on your sheet, meaning that you are now at a charisma of.
+2. I thought it was only +1.
Yeah, but it's your
+1
charisma goes
on
up
the
to
modifier.
22, so the modifier goes to a +6.
Wow.
So it's a +6 total, which is, superhuman for the average person to be able to achieve that. And when that happens and you close the book, a slight thunderous clap comes from the book as a tremor around you, and all of you wake up and you see sparks of magic fall out of the book. And as it does, a clasp covers the book and a lock appears upon it, as this book cannot be read for another 100 years.
I give the book to Arcturus because he's the only one with a lifespan long enough to, to actually being able to read it.
Well, Arcturus tries to take it, but unfortunately is hugging Andros at this point.
Ah,
Yeah,
But they
well,
both
I'll-
wake up in shock of this clap.
And just for clarification, we heard the shock and we just hugged each other tighter
Yeah.
because we like
well, I'll just keep it in my pack until tomorrow.
Okay, nice. And just to clarify, who has the orb?
Shion.
I think I still have it. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, as you guys continue your sleep, undisturbed, you all awake in the morning.
Good morning.
Andros. Andros.
5 more minutes, please. 5 more minutes.
Andros, let me go. Why are you?
I
holding
just
me?
toss him. I toss him.
Yeet.
Arcturus, you get yeeted out of the bubble, and as you get yeeted out, your skin touches the sand and it's red hot, and you do that kind of like, you know, the dance when you're like on a beach on holiday, where you're just like and like you like run back into the bubble. Yeah, and it's as you can now tell, the sun is in its blaze of glory outside, and it is a sizzler. So yeah,
Man.
you guys pack your
Lovely.
things up, I assume.
Yeah.
You
It's a
eat
nice
your
day out,
rations
eh?
of the morning.
Mm-hmm. I'll eat some rations. That's good.
Yeah, this would be wise.
Andros, I have something for you. I forgot. I've been carrying this around the whole time.
Okay.
And you see her fishing through her bag. And out comes a pile of arrows. She hands them to Andros, and you see that these are not normal arrows. And you remember the tooth of the dragon.
Mmm.
And it clicks that these are dragon teeth arrows. Dragon arrows. I had them made before we left. I went off on my own for a bit into the shops, and I didn't know what to do with it because the tooth was damaged. And I thought, who better to give this to than you? So there you go. I think they're meant to be a bit better than normal arrows.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Yeah, I'll have to put these in my quiver and use them if, you know.
Yeah, and you receive 10 of those, and they are counted as +1 arrows, meaning if you fire it, they give +1 to the attack and +1 to the damage.
Okay.
And you have 10 of them.
Okay.
But we can sort that out on a sheet for you
Yeah.
and add that as an additional thing. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, you will have to keep track of how many you use. But yeah, cool. As this happens, as the bubble pops, and as it does, the sun immediately hits you all as you get this shock of this warmth and this heat as your shade and your air-conditioned bubble dissipates before you all.
Feels nice.
Yeah, you guys stand up, grab your things, and begin getting ready for the day. And as we are at the start of a day, the day 2 of traveling, may I add, we will need someone as the scout of the party, please. Who would like to volunteer? None of you? Okay, you wasted a day.
Erhard is. Sorry.
What did you want to do it, Erhard?
No, I didn't want to do it. I was just gonna do my Phantom Steed ritual. That's all I wanted to do.
Okay. Well, before we decide who does that, how do we want to travel? Because I could summon us some bats. We could fly, but only for an hour. But we would be out of the sand, out of the plowing through the desert for a little while. But we could do it later on in the day. Or I could summon some camels and blend in with the environment, but then we would be a bit slower.
I think the bats would be a good idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Everybody up for that?
You wanna fly?
Only for an hour. It's only going to be faster for a little bit.
How fast are your bats?
Like, well, they're not as fast as my fire form, but they'll be faster than faster than a camel for sure.
Knowing the area we are in, if we are to fly, would we stand out more for like anyone? Like just my knowledge of like the fact we're in the middle of nowhere and we're literally about to be flying in the air, knowing that people could be just, you know, if anyone really wanted to look for people and they just saw, I mean, we'd stand out in that sense, right?
You would know that you would stand out.
Yeah.
And I would also like to point out, the bats carrying you is the same speed as you going at a hurried pace.
Okay, so I know if I just stay on the ground, I can
carry people.
Yeah, so I know if I just stay on the ground, I can.
Yeah, if you were to walk on the ground at a regular pace, the bats would outspeed you, but it is only for 1 hour. But yes, you would definitely stand out more than you already do.
So I know.
Would the camels be faster?
Let me just double check. I think camels would be maybe slightly.
They're slightly slower. Well, yeah, because bats are 60 and camels are 50.
camels are meant more for riding as opposed to a bat, because the giant bat, if you think of a bat, it's just a bigger bat. It's not like humongous, but it's, a camel's much bigger than a bat, so it can carry without the penalties, whereas the bat has the penalties of carrying people.
Okay.
Okay, so you can, with a bat, you can't use your action to dash, but with a camel you can, because you don't get the carry penalty, is what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that a giant bat would have half movement carrying someone. Whereas a camel doesn't get half movement because it's a large. It's like it's a beast meant for travel. Like it's meant for
Right.
transport.
So that works the same, because I was gonna have them dash, but because that doesn't, well, because
Yeah.
it's half speed, so then it becomes
Yeah,
normal speed. Whereas a camel can dash and then double the speed.
Yeah, the thing is, you are only getting it for 1 hour of a
Yeah.
potential, 12. Sorry, more than that. It'd be a 16-hour journey, so it is only 1 hour of that. So it won't make a huge impact regardless of what you do. But it will,
No.
it'll alleviate some pressure from you guys, and potentially if there's an event or something that happens during your travel, like something that happens, like you will have those to aid during that
So-
1 hour of doing that.
For an hour, we could travel at 100 feet a turn. For an hour, 100
Yeah,
feet.
so because it's
6
like
seconds.
I was just explaining, because it's only an hour, it doesn't affect the overall 16-hour travel, because I'm not doing it by increments of measurements, because if that was the case, then yeah, I wouldn't have a job. I'd have to do this full time. But yeah, if you want to summon them to alleviate you guys as a thing, there's a chance that they could assist you if an event happens. But like I'm saying, if it's just for 1 hour of a 16-hour day, it just makes your lives easier. It doesn't really change the speed at which, if you could do it for longer than an hour, maybe like 3 hours plus, then it would definitely speed up your travel. But
If
just
it
for 1
doesn't
hour, it doesn't
speed
make-
up,
yeah.
okay. I'm gonna translate that to, if it might not speed us up that much, but it might make it easier. So we could either travel easier or keep this spell for later and use it in combat should we need it, because camels aren't that useful.
But me being carried by a bat's gonna slow us down either way.
You also
No,
need
camel.
multiple. You also need multiple.
Yeah, bats,
Andros.
Yeah.
So do I know from my training, my ability, can I keep up at a hurried pace if they were to fly? If I stay on the ground and I am trying to keep up with them, could I do it due to my I've trained in this terrain,
If you are using like a hurried pace, you keep up with the bat. If the bat, because the bat has to go flat out for you guys, and you have to hold on to a bat for an hour, because you can't ride it. It's not big enough for you to sit on the back of. You're holding on to it, and it's holding on to you for 1 hour through the blazing heat of a desert. Because they're not big. It's not like a giant eagle where it's like this huge creature. It is a tiny little bat that now is holding on to you because it's not that big. You could definitely give it a go.
If only we had like ropes and like wood, so you guys could sit on it, and I could just fly us, and you could just, like a sled, but like with a flying creature. That would be good. Do you think we could find anything like that on the way if we keep scouting for it?
No.
No?
Not
Okay.
likely.
Well, I'm just trying to come up with ideas. Look, we'll walk. Fine. No
Yeah,
bats, no camels, no riding, no
Let's
fun.
walk for now.
It's not fun if you're in
While-
Quirin, apparently.
While
go.
while this conversation went on, I guess the 10 minutes might have passed. So I just have my unicorn
Yeah,
up here
your
because I have
unicorn
no
then
clue
appears.
what a camel looks like. So
Your unicorn appears
I have
beside
my
you.
totally inconspicuous unicorn, and I get on it with my parasol.
Nice.
Okay.
So what's the plan?
You said bats were obvious, but the unicorn isn't.
I didn't
I-
say. God
I-
doesn't say anything at
No,
this time.
I didn't control.
No,
I
but
can't
you-
tell Erhard
Andros.
what magic not to use. I mean, he didn't tell us he's making a steed, so at that point, I'm gonna scout. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna start going ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so
Andros had
as you
enough of
start
this.
going ahead, could you please roll me a survival check? And if anyone would like to be the lookouts of the party, you don't have to, but you can do. By all means, roll me a perception check.
Can I do both?
The
You
Hawk
cannot
would
do both.
like
You cannot?
to be a lookout. A 21 for Olaf.
Okay, nice.
And a 20 for Kata.
Very nice. 15 for Shion. Okay, well, Maeve, would you roll me a d20, please?
Mm-hmm. 5.
Brilliant.
Mhm.
Okay,
Why do I feel
on that
was a
note,
bad
I
one?
would like a... Let me just double check. Mavis, you rolled it and you got the 5. Could you please roll me a d4?
Ooh.
Only 2 giant desert crocodiles.
Okay, well, as you guys are heading further and further, following along the river, you see the plateau before you is getting closer and closer still. As you guys travel through the blazing heat and the sands, you, Olaf and Kada, see a little ways ahead, maybe an hour or two out. This is like your first hour-ish of the journey. Just around the time that your unicorn would fade. You see maybe an hour or two out of walking, slightly off of the beaten track of this river, some rock formations, and what looks to be like a partially buried building against one of the rocks. And you see some steps that go up to it and go behind the rock. And there's just like a couple of little rocky outcroppings, and it looks like maybe there was like a couple of cluster of buildings around this rocky outcropping. But as the sands have risen, it's built up over time. And yeah, you guys see that maybe an hour or two off, but a little ways off from the path of the river, so you'd have to come away from the river a little bit to get there. But you do see this in the distance, and that is Kada and Olaf that spot this.
I will tell that to the party, but specifically to Andros, because he knows best like what that might mean.
Mhm.
Like ruins, but maybe ambushes, or I don't know. So yeah. Whatever the scout does with that.
Does it ring a bell to me?
You know, many people tried to start living outside of cities, trying to get away from slavers. You know, some slaves over the years tried to settle down in remote locations. This could be one of those such things where a group of slaves decided, you know what, we're going to try and live out here and try and survive away from the horrors of Chartusa and the cities. A lot of the time they don't work because the elements and the wilds of Querrin take anything that doesn't conform to how it currently runs. And yeah, this could be where slaves maybe once rested. It could be maybe an outpost, maybe a military outpost. You don't know. It's 5-ish days out from Chartusa, and you don't know how far away anything else is. So yeah, you're unsure.
Okay, I tell that to Erhard.
Mhm.
And everyone who wants to hear it, but since Erhard asked.
Are we gonna ignore it, or should we?
It's probably dilapidated, yeah? I mean,
I'm gonna keep pushing
Would-
forward.
Yeah, I would vote
Just
for
keep going?
ignoring
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
ignore it.
Okay. Yeah, you start pushing forward. And as you do, I would say who rolled the next highest? Because I think Olaf and Kada were a little more focused on the structure and maybe checking out from an aerial viewpoint of that. I will say, Shion, as you're looking and just keeping an eye out of your surroundings, you can see a slight sandstorm brushing in your direction. It doesn't look too fierce, but it doesn't look it does look like it's heading in this direction. You know, during these times, a lot of people can get turned around. During these storms, you can lose where you were, and keeping to the river would be the best course of action for not losing your gumption and your flow of the transportation.
Bearings?
Yeah, bearings. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. As all of you continue pushing through and you inform the group this, the sandstorm does hit. And it lasts for about an hour. And when it finally alleviates, you realize you're not by the river. You realize that your scout that tried to keep you along the path, unfortunately, deviated slightly. And you notice the same set of stairs and the same building in the distance as you have just done an entire 360 loop.
Oh,
Great.
no.
I thought we didn't want to come here.
We don't. So can we see the river again from here?
Now you can see where you've gone wrong, and you can see that the river, whereas you were walking with it on your right down south, you can now see it on your left flowing back. And you've seen that you've basically circled the entire rocky foundations and come back round to the point again, and you've lost maybe 2 hours of your journey.
Well,
How wild does this river look, by the way?
The river itself is very murky. Any form of wildlife within it, you've probably spotted an alligator or a crocodile, whichever lives in rivers. I can never remember whichever one
Alligators.
it is. For you people, thank you. Alligators by the rivers. And there's a couple of fish in there, but other than that, it's quite barren. But I would say, yeah, you spot an alligator every now and then, and you're just like, ooh, maybe we should, get a little bit away from that.
Both
But yeah.
both can live in rivers, but alligators are more common than crocodiles.
Okay, thank you. We don't
Okay.
have them
So
in the
not
Yeah,
a
we're-
single boat or anything, just
No.
alligators.
we're going upstream anyway, so yeah.
Mm.
So, on
It's just
to the
two
pub?
wasted hours and let's just push forward, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep pushing.
Let's keep,
Not a problem.
keep pushing.
From my perception, is there anything I see in this building that might be of use? Do I see anything useful? Since we're
A
right
lot of
here
it
now.
Yeah, a lot of it is time has taken it back.
Yeah.
The elements have taken it back. The building was probably, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 stories high, maybe 2 stories, I'd say, from what you can just gather from the rocky formation. But now the sand is almost to the top of it. So, like, you can just see that the sand has just buried it completely.
Okay.
And there are some steps that go around the back, but they just lead to, like, what looks to be like a lookout post on top of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is completely taken by time.
Okay. I'll just ignore
So
it.
maybe we can do the camels now to make up for lost time.
sounds
You
like.
guys want camels now?
Well, we kind of lost a couple hours. Maybe catch up.
Okay. And I think camels are also the amount of 8, correct? The 8 CR.
What's the
An
yeah
8
that
CR?
the 1/8? Yes,
Yeah, so I can summon 8 of them.
you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you wanna?
Yeah, and 8 camels appear.
Very nice. And are you summoning 2 lots of them to make up the whole time, or just 1 lot to make up half the time?
Well, for now, for the first hour, I'll just summon
Yeah,
one set.
Because we're gonna skip a few hours over, so because to get to the midway point, so you can cast it just the once and make up an hour's time, or if you wanted to, you could cast it twice to try and make up the time you lost. Is what I'm trying. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. It's your choice. You don't have to.
Yeah, no, I think I'll just cast it once for now,
Okay,
at least.
cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. Okay, so yes, so you guys make 8 hours of travel during this point. So unfortunately, you only actually travel 7 hours worth, not the whole 8. But yes, you do make it to the halfway point. You take a break, you take a breather, you all stop, you take some drinks. I assume, do you use the jug, or are you gonna use water skins, or are you gonna drink from the river? What's the plan during this little short rest that you get?
I say use the jug because that water is just dysentery and
Well, my water skin is getting flat.
Mm-hmm.
summon the
Yeah.
mayonnaise. I mean.
I would like water.
I'd rather drink water than mayonnaise, I think.
Water jug it is.
Cool, water jug. So yeah, you do so, and then we move on to the second leg of the day, which is the second half of travel. So could I please have whoever the scout is?
I would like to give bardic inspiration to whoever wants to be the scout.
Okay, and yeah, I'll have the scout roll me a survival check for the next 8 hours of travel, please.
Hey,
Should I try?
we'll do
Or
it.
Maeve? Yeah,
Or
Maeve,
you can
go
do
ahead.
it. I can guidance you if you want.
Yeah, it might be wise. Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. Let me
Yeah,
check.
I'll guidance.
So I'll have the guidance and the bardic inspiration from
You get a
Erhard.
D6 on top.
Oh, which is a 21.
Nice.
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 25.
25.
And then the D6, right?
D6,
Yep.
yeah.
3.
Ooh, not quite
Put him
30,
in
but
the
you know,
30.
pretty close, pretty close.
Almost.
Yeah. So you get a 28 total. As yeah, you begin to lead the charge, and following on from Andros, you try to stick by this river just because it's the easiest way of getting through this desert. Does anyone want to be lookouts?
Yes.
Is anyone wanting to do
I'll
that?
do that.
Yep. Go for it.
We'll do
Be
another
20,
perception with
24.
Yep.
10.
Okay, not a problem. And yeah, absolutely fine. Okay, so that is that. Okay, during Lan, roll me a d20, please. Okay, with a 5, can you roll me a d what was it? A d6? No, d4.
D4.
D4, please.
That's what you said earlier.
It won.
Okay. Interesting. As you guys are traveling for the next 8 hours, you start to creep towards the evening time. And as you do, Andros,
Mm-hmm.
you spot a small bit of like shrubbery by the lake. And you see the shrubbery move. And at first you think it's some form of wildlife, an alligator or something along those lines, or maybe something indigenous to the deserts themselves. But instead, you see a leg poking out of the bush.
Okay. I'll just get next to Arcturus and I'll ask him to like slow down a bit, and then I'll tell him what I see, and I won't directly point it out, but I'll give him direction to where he can actually look at it and see what I'm looking at.
Now I'll very try to do my best at surviving, and I'm going holding up my hand like slow down, because I obviously saw Andros do it like before in the forest. I'm like,
Yep.
let's hope they get the signal.
Yeah.
We all
And
stop.
you guys stop and try and perceive. And I'll say, now that you guys have like properly stopped and like actually taken time to look to see what's before you, Andros, you see what looks to be like a vulture pecking at the remains of a corpse
Oh,
by the riverbank.
okay.
Lovely.
I'll just tell him that, and like we can. I mean, it's a dead person.
You want to check it out?
I could go check it out if you want me to.
I'll send Olaf forward.
I'll-
real quick.
I'll run ahead. I will be stealthy, and I'll try to go see what's really going on over there with that body.
Okay, so roll me a stealth check, please, as
Okay.
you start heading on over.
28.
Nice. As yeah, you do stealth on over, and although there's not much cover, you use the dips of the sands and the grooves to try and best make your way over. And I'd say all of you notice that there's a different movement in Andros's mobility through this, as he definitely feels a lot more comfortable. And he
Oh, okay.
uses the grooves of the sand and he uses the hills as slopes, and rather than running to them like he would in the more grasslands and forests, he slides down them, but with like a dexterity that as he hits the bottom, he kicks back up very quickly. Whereas before he was much slower in these more muddy terrains and foresty terrains. But you see there's quite some speed to the way that he moves, as this is, similar to his homeland. It's not too dissimilar, and this is how they used to move and track and scout back in the day. And yeah, you fall into this river, Mondros, and as you get a little bit closer, you get maybe 20 feet away from this corpse, and the vulture still hasn't noticed you, and you can see it pecking at the back of this thing. And you see a humanoid or, human half-elf sort of gentleman. You see he's wearing these khaki, sort of like creamy colored trousers with some boots. And then you can see he was wearing like a light cream colored shirt with a rounded kind of like helmet thing that was on his head, like a weird hat looking helmet. And there's like a big backpack that you can just see is in tatters where it's been cut, and you can see blood just stained on the shirt. And yeah, this thing is just pecking into the flesh of whatever this is.
From the damage on the backpack, can I tell if it was possibly wildlife, or is it more like a sword, like someone was trying to, because you can tell between like an animal attacking something versus a human would.
Roll me an investigation check, and I'll say the DC's quite low, as like you said, you can tell determining on the wildlife. So 15's perfect. These are blade cuts across the back.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see that this is clearly maybe slavers, bandits, something along those lines. Someone has cut this man and killed
Does
him.
it look very recent, or has this been here for a time?
With a 15 as well, the blood is very dried, very aged.
Okay.
You think that this body has, at the most, maybe a week?
Okay.
But to narrow it down to exactly a date, you're not entirely sure. But it's definitely like coming up to a week old or a week old.
And I don't
so
see.
it's not within like a day or two.
And I don't see anything that someone could be, because in the sand, if having the battle experience I have, I would know someone could hide here. There could be a little small hideout here where people wouldn't notice it if they're just walking. Do I see anything like that potentially with?
You just see desert for
Right.
miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will really want to. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna like not scream, but like purposely get the vulture to notice me, so it'll fly off. They'll leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say all you do is just by your mere presence,
Yeah.
making yourself taller and grander, it sees you and immediately begins to fly off.
I will then go to the body and I'm gonna take the bag off, and I'm gonna I'm gonna start walking back. I mean, I'll check the person as well and see if there's anything on them that might be useful. Maybe I can get see if there's any symbol to see where they're from, and like that.
Turn the body over, or do you just let it lay as is?
I'll check the back first, and then I'll turn it over, I guess.
Yeah, so you see the backpack, there's cuts and scrapes into it, and inside there are sealed rations, there are camping supplies, there's a water skin which looks full, a hip flask's in there as well. You also see, now that you are much closer and you've moved the backpack, a dagger still remains plunged into his back.
Okay.
And you can see that clearly someone's murdered this guy and kicked him towards the river and carried on.
I'll pull the dagger out and then I'll put it like I have a lot of knife holders. I'll just put it in one of them.
Add to your sheet a silvered dagger as you find a silvered dagger plunged into his back.
Cool.
And as this is happening, you kick him over to see, and you see around his neck a compass.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'll take that for sure. And then
and you pull it off of his neck.
mhm.
Yeah, do you take a little look at it?
I will.
You turn around to the way that you've just come,
Yeah.
and that is north.
Okay.
And as you turn to the way that you're facing, you are heading south.
Okay. I will keep that on me. I'll take the backpack. I'll head back to the group. I'll basically wave at them, tell them it's good, it's clear to come forward. And then, I will hand the compass to Arcturus.
Thank you.
That looks like a soldier.
A soldier?
Looks like it.
From where?
Could be anywhere.
I'm gonna. Is that everything? Does it have a map in the backpack? Like is it, or is it just rations, water?
Just from where the cuts are, that's what you could see.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Just because there are.
Yeah.
The bag is pretty much no longer usable.
Right.
You think if you were trying to carry for much longer, it'd just start to tear. But yeah, if you want to go through the bag and actually like see what is in there.
I'm gonna pull out the rations. I'm gonna put them with my own stuff, and I'm gonna take out the water. I'm gonna toss the water skin to Erhard, noticing his was empty, and then I'm just taking everything out. See what else I can find in there.
Okay.
Well, I filled my water skin, but sure.
Have
I'll
another
take
one.
a second.
Nice. Yeah, you start going through all of the items, and roll me a D2, please.
Okay.
So /R 1D2.
/R 1D2 1. Okay.
Okay. You do in fact find a map.
Sweet.
However,
Okay.
there are blade marks throughout, and it is blood-stained, and it is very difficult. The map that you have got is in better condition, and piecing together what you can, I would say that the marker for where Shartusa is in fact where Shartusa is.
Mm-hmm.
Which I will give you an updated map after this session, just so I can add that
I
in.
am specifically
and I
more
would-
looking for Alakesh.
You cannot see
do
Alakesh
not.
just because of the bloodstains and the cuts. The only two places that you definitely know are on the map is Blackwater Bay and Shartusa, and which is the bottom left. That's the only bit that's really intact.
Mm.
But they're the two areas that you do see now on your map.
He does that back with us.
Yeah, I imagine so. Yeah.
Ondros, should I try and at least make this a bit more presentable?
Sure.
I would use Predestigation to get rid of the bloodstains, and
Okay.
Mending to get rid of the tears, which obviously doesn't restore any of the map, but just like makes it more sturdy again.
Yeah. Roll me an Arcana check, and with the mending, I'll see if you get one more location that you manage to restore on this map.
16.
16 is enough. Roll me a D6, please. Now determine which location you get.
It's a 1.
Ah, okay. You do get Crackadoon, which is actually up here. So I will add them to the map for you, just so that you know.
Cool.
Okay.
So
Well,
we good? We ready to go, guys?
I will just
you-
give Erhard the map, and I'll be like, we're good, and I'll start walking.
Can anyone determine from this map where we might be roughly, so we can determine like a more precise direction towards where we're going?
Well, given the fact that we now know what heading we are, and there's like a fork in the river, turn right at the fork of the river. See if we can cross it and then go. Yeah, go straight to.
Okay. Well, I'll say that's yeah.
Sorry, no, I was just gonna say, whilst we travel the next few hours, can I look out for scorpions?
Yeah, you certainly can. Yeah. Roll me
And
a
if-
perception check.
Okay. Seven.
7. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, during this trip, and during these last few hours remaining of this second jaunt of the journey, you do not find any.
Okay.
Okay. Well, as you guys begin to travel, once again, nightfall arises. And I assume same sleeping conditions bubble up, Shion keeping a wide eye, keeping an eye out on what's going on around you, and you guys bed down.
I have one thing I would like to do.
Yes?
Obviously interested in the capabilities of my new sleeve. I'm just studying it, and I'm like, Erhard,
Yeah.
can you throw a spell at me?
What kind?
Not too damaging, but with an element.
We'll cast Frostbite.
Yeah, sure.
So Frostbite gets hurled towards you.
And then, as a reaction, I'll try to catch the element.
Okay,
to see what
so
happens.
you'll use Absorb Elements. So what will happen is, I believe, I'll just double check on the spell, but I believe you still take half the damage.
Frostbite.
It was just like a scientific approach, or like I don't know what's gonna happen, but
Yeah. Yes, you gain resistance to the triggering damage type. So the damage type is cold.
Only on a failed save.
Are you accepting the hit, Arcturus?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, to be able to absorb elements, because otherwise you just dodge it, right? So yeah. So can you please roll the damage for that? I know it doesn't matter. Oh, you've already done it.
It's
7. So you will take 3 cold damage this evening, and please mark down somewhere that you have 1 set of cold damage stored within the within your new gadget.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna take some time to investigate, see what it does, and try to find out any other stuff.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, Oat. Thanks for this scientific approach.
Anytime. I will, I guess, sit down next to him and take out the artifact again, and start twisting.
You want to go again?
Yep.
Go for it. Intelligence check, please.
I would do a lucky on that one.
Okay.
16.
As you get the ball. And you almost fumble. And just as you go to click in place, you start to see the ones you've already done start to get undone. But a wisp of wild magic surges from you. And as it does, it shifts your movement as the next click goes in place.
So that's 4.
That is 4 in total, yes. And there's still quite a few rings to go. But yeah, you definitely get the feel. You get the feeling, the further you progress, the harder the checks are. But yeah, you do get through.
Do I get like, not necessarily a proficiency, but more like an experience with it, in the sense of like, if I would fail, that the next time going round up to that stage would be easier? Because I did fail before.
Yes.
I think. Where we were like already to success 3 or something.
Yeah, the problem with the orb itself is you don't remember doing it the way that you've done it before.
Mm-hmm.
It's as if every time there's a failure, the entire thing resets,
Okay.
and like a new solution is needed for it to be complete.
Well, and also rolls around in my back and whatever. So
Yeah,
probably
and like, because it's a ball, it's always ever like moving, rolling, changing, and the rings around it are always changing.
Okay.
But yeah, you kind of find that like sweet spot and then like click it in place while turning it, and yeah, it's like an intricate puzzle that there isn't a same approach each time to fix it. It's different every time.
Okay.
Because of pressure and twisting the right ways and that sort of thing. Because you might not always get the same ring.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. But yes, you do succeed. That's 4 successes. Please make a note of that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will continue on. Cool. So you guys rest for the evening. Anyone want to do anything?
Yes, I mean, I go. I suppose I when everyone's asleep, I'll go hold the orb, and Malakesh will probably be waiting for an answer this evening.
You definitely get the sense that it is the end of day 3. You are correct.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you hold the orb and you just concentrate, and you don't need to sleep, but when everyone else is asleep and you focus on this orb just for a moment, you start to feel your eyes drift, almost as if it's compelling you to take this respite. Do you take it?
Yeah.
Okay. And as you take this respite in the camp and in that nighttime of sleep, well, not sleep for you, but, you know, some sort of like trance-like meditative sort of state, you find yourself in that same space once more. You find yourself within the tomb with the blue orb flaring in the center. But there's a different air about this place. Every time you've visited here before, you've always felt compelled. You've always felt shackled. This time you stand tall and you feel free. You feel that you have entered this of your own choice and not because you've been told to, but more so asked. And as you stand within this chamber, you see the form of Malakesh arise once more. So, 3 days are up. And 3 days since my eyes upon your companion has faded. Do tell what's happened to him.
I look sad
Mm-hmm.
because I had grown rather fond of him. The witch in the snows. We were powerful. She was more so.
I'm gonna need you to make me a deception check, please.
I thought as much.
And Malakesh is going to roll an insight check.
21.
Very well. At least that wretched pulp completed his life debt.
Did he now?
He did.
Good.
What be your answer, Shion?
It's been lovely working with you, but I think it's time we go our separate ways now.
Very well. I guess I'll have to send them then.
Them?
Well, if Arcturus is no more, and you still hold the orb, you have no reason to bring it back to me, and therefore are an enemy.
I smile.
The mark will always remain as a reminder of our pact.
Oh yes, lovely little souvenir of our time together.
Enjoy the life that you have while it lasts.
And You too.
And the vision ends. And you look down at your tattoo. And no longer a tattoo you see, but a burn mark in your flesh.
Welp. Yeah, I expected something like this was gonna happen. But yeah, nothing we can't handle. But yeah, everyone's asleep, so I guess I'll just go do whatever.
Yeah, and I'll say you have a good few hours to really ponder on this decision that's been made. However, as you do come out of the vision, you see the chakrams that was once given to you by Malakesh burn to ash around you. You see, or feel, should I say, a few of the gifts and a bit of his power removed. But you see a glow to the new chakram to your side. And as you reach out a hand and touch it, you feel a power return, although slightly different in its approach. And the burn mark of the moon that you have always had on your shoulder changes ever so slightly to look more like a tattoo once more. To hide the scarring, almost as if another's presence is trying to comfort you.
That's nice.
And yeah, I will say the long rest ends. You all get all of your hit points back, all of your spell slots, all of that good stuff. And you guys wake up in the morning. And as you do, and you're just starting to get together, as the bubble pops, and once again, the blazing sunlight hits you all as like vampires in the sun. But yeah, you guys have the morning.
Arcturus, darling,
Mm.
I managed to deceive Malakash. He really believes you're dead now.
He does. Ooh. So you spoke to him.
Yes. There is, however, an obvious downside.
Ooh. Tell us.
Since I rejected his deal, we are now officially his enemies, and he will probably fling things at us that we will need to defeat.
Define fling things.
I don't know. He said something about sending them, which is, I don't know, probably some other people in his service. That he. I mean, he still wants the orb, and we still have it.
And we're still not giving it to him, but at least we don't have to be afraid of falling rocks. At least not sent by him.
What?
So, because we can hear this conversation, right? Or are you having it privately?
No, I'm not. Not necessarily.
He's still after the orb, right? That's
Yeah.
why he's sending them.
Yes.
And Arcturus, he thinks is dead.
Mm-hmm.
What if Arcturus takes the orb into the necklace and leaves it in there? I'm not saying that they're not gonna find us, but if they can't find it on us, and if they're any type of smart, then we can. I mean, I assume we're strong enough to defeat them, but if we're not, and we have to tell them one of us can get it, but we have to be alive for it, then what are they gonna do?
That actually sounds like a good idea.
The real problem isn't the fact that they're gonna find us. The real problem is that what's gonna happen if they find out Arcturus is here and they tell what's his name?
We kill him. Before they
We
reach-
better make sure that they don't get back to him, and we kill them.
We're good at that.
Just use the pointy end and stick it
Okay.
in.
And also, is he gonna kill Arcturus if Arcturus is the only person that can retrieve the orb back for him?
Obviously, he's not the only person. He's sending other people after it.
If it's in the orb, no, sorry, if the orb is in the necklace, then how is he gonna get it out of the
Breaks the necklace.
Quick side note, he gave me the necklace. So,
Oh, we're only finding out about that now?
well, like he's technically still the patron and the source of my powers, which is amplified by, and I'm just talking through a lot of technical issues, which are like very, very, very boring. But yeah, you know how Arcturus is. And therefore, yeah, it's dangerous.
Okay, even more crazy idea. This orb has done nothing but harmful things. There is a Draken lady after it. It's apparently able to resurrect a dragon. Some weird being in a prison is after it, and he's probably bound for a reason there, so he shouldn't get it. The only person that kind of had use for it was Felix, and he was just having it on display, so... Excuse me, it's really dusty.
Yeah, as a bit of sand goes down Maeve's throat.
Arhart, can you not, like, put it into the astral plane for it to just be forgotten?
Well, sure, we could do that, but it might take me 100 wild surges, and we might all be burst into flame until that happens. So,
Can I just throw another random theory out there? We don't know exactly still what the orb really entirely does. What if the orb is the thing we really need to maybe defeat Malakesh? I don't know. Maybe in some crazy way, the orb is what we really need to finally end all this. So why would we get rid of it?
well,
I don't
either
know, but it's
way,
been a pain in the butt.
Well,
this whole time.
okay, no
if it was
offense.
that easy, it
A
would
lot
be
of things have
lovely.
been a pain in the butt. A lot of things. The orb, we have to handle the orb at this point. We've taken this idea, we've taken this job, we've taken this mission. We might as well finish it. We might as well keep the orb on us and end it.
What if the orb will resurrect the dragon, but it will answer to me?
You do speak it.
And if I resurrect it, I can be his master.
Okay,
can use it as-
Arcturus-
Very
Arcturus
good idea, and I toss him the orb.
sounds lovely, but please don't let it go to your head, and because dragons and, dominating them.
Well, if it's anything like a duckling, because I have had this happen to me in the Everglade years ago. One of the duck mums died, and so I took care of her eggs. And then when the ducks hatched, they all followed me around because they thought I was their mum. And maybe the same thing happens to the dragon if Arcturus pretends to be its mum.
Well,
I whip out my notepad and I start scribbling every word that Maeve just said.
and I would just throw in, like, back in the Feywild, I was like staying at a unicorn haven, and some of the kids tried doing that with unicorns. Unicorns are very proud and stubborn, they
Okay,
don't do
so
that.
ducks, yes. Unicorns, no.
And
So not sure about the dragons.
we're still talking about a dragon, okay? We don't know what dragon it is. This dragon could be too smart, or it's gonna be like, I know you ain't nothing to me. You're just a person. Again, we are throwing around some crazy things.
Is gonna be the calamity,
We are
so-
still 4 days
Scary as fuck,
away.
yeah.
4 days away from the big city. We need to get there, right? And then we need to figure out what's the game plan from there. Us throwing around theories, we need to get, at the end of the day, the orb, we have to hold on to it so that guy doesn't get it or the lady doesn't get it.
I suppose we have this conversation while walking by the
Yeah,
way.
let's
Hopefully.
go
Oh,
for it.
yeah,
I hope so.
absolutely. I will say though, while this conversation is being happening and you guys have started heading out onto your journey, Arcturus, can you roll me an Arcana check, please?
Can I search for scorpions whilst we
It's a
travel?
14.
Meantime.
Do we notice Smitty doing that all the time?
Who's Smitty?
Maeve. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
you do.
sorry.
You see her like looking around for bugs.
I'll keep an eye out for
Okay.
the usual thing.
Maeve, do you
Arcturus.
need help with that?
Uh,
I could inspire
if-
you.
if you don't mind, I am looking for scorpions, to be specific.
I will just give her inspiration, like very inspired searching.
But
Well,
thank you.
while you're doing that, Arcturus, having this conversation, you get ready to venture out with everyone. Click your fingers for Kada. Nothing happens. You look down at your hands. You click for Kada again. Nothing happens. It's at this moment that you realize that connection to Kada's gone.
I feel
You look towards
sadness.
Yeah, you feel the sadness and you feel that emptiness. Kada's been a part of you for so long now. And it's been a friend, a loyal companion. And there's definitely a hole there. But as you look towards your tattoo, you don't see the tattoo, but you've seen the burnt remains of what once was a tattoo. As if a branding as opposed to a decorative piece. As clearly the news of Shion saying that you had passed has severed the connection between you and Malakesh. Because he no longer gives you that same power that you once had. And you used to feel that burning sensation just as Shion did for a long time, and now the pair of you feel cold within. You feel that flame and that fire, that passion that burnt within you, burning more and more ferocious the more and more you did for Malakesh. And now it's just this stone cold emptiness within.
I figure I experienced this while we are like traveling.
And this is within like the first half hour of your journey.
Yeah. All of a sudden, I just keep standing still. Like I actually notice that I'm actually missing Kada connection to whatever was before, and having that really sad feeling over me. I'm just standing in the middle of the desert, staring at the ground.
And when you feel the most despair that you've felt in a while, and you look down at the ground and see your companions continue on, not noticing that you've stopped for a moment, you feel a chill breeze wash over you. And you feel a coldness to your arm. And as you look down towards it, you see where the scorch marks were. It is now tried to replicate the tattoo, but you can still see it. But it, instead of a sun, it is a full moon that has now appeared on your arm. And as you look down towards it, you feel like she's watching. And you feel like she's there. But you also realize just how much you relied on Malakesh's powers. And your temporal misdirection has gone. Your additional fire damage from the fire genie has gone. And you realize that all of the spells that you once had remain, but the additional boons have vanished. And the same goes for you, Shion. As you both feel the blue fires that once warmed your hearts no longer give you power.
Shion, do you sense that?
Oh yeah. Like cold in your heart.
Yes, and all over me, and I feel loneliness, despair. I can't sense her. I can't sense Kada.
That's because she was bound to Marrakesh, was she not? And since Marrakesh thinks you're dead, I don't think you'll be able to get her back.
My tattoo. Shion, it changed.
So did mine.
It's. I have a full moon now.
I guess that's from our new patron.
I figure as much. I'm alright, so just need some time. That's
We're free now, at least.
for the first time in months since I've ever stepped foot in this realm. I'm free.
In a matter of speaking, we still need to kill Malakash eventually.
Oh yes, he's gonna pay for this.
And he's going to send his minions after us, whoever they may be.
He can send as many as he likes, but he will pay for what he's done. This is personal now. Let's continue.
Agree.
And can I please have whoever wishes to scout this operation make me a survival check, please? As I assume Shion and Arcturus maybe stick a little bit further towards the back of the group.
Whoever's
I
doing
would,
that.
but I don't know if it works if I'm also looking for scorpions, so...
You tell me, are you concentrating on looking for scorpions? Or are you looking to lead the group?
I really want to find a scorpion, so...
Then you will not go for leading the group. It'll be down to Erhard or Andros.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
I'll give him inspiration.
Yeah. Andros is getting pretty pissed at this point. He's yeah.
You guys are still moving during all of
Yeah.
this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Add a d6.
You get a d6 on top.
You do get a d6. Just don't roll
Yay.
a 1.
Well, you know.
Nice. That's literally the DC. Okay, cool.
Also, Andros, didn't you get an inspiration as well?
I did.
Ready?
I did.
Oh, did you?
I can use it. I mean, we can use it here. No, I got one this session from a good friend. That just lets me re-roll it, right?
It would be a d20, yeah.
I'll use it. I mean, we need to use it before.
You do need to use it before the end of today's stream.
19. We knew better now.
Nice. There we go. So that is a 21 plus 3, 24. Very nice. Okay. And would anyone like to be lookouts during this time?
Olaf will
Yep.
go do that. 17.
Too distracted by anything.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so Shion, would you like to roll me a d20, please, and Maeve roll your perception check for scorpions with the bardic inspiration?
6.
Nice.
God.
I'm really not rolling. I would have also given myself guidance, but I'm not sure if it's too late to say
Yeah,
that.
no, go for it. Go for it. I'll allow it.
So that's that. That's not that.
Oh. /R.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And a 1d6, right?
You do, yeah?
Yes.
Let's see if you can make a 12.
Oh!
Ah, 12. You
12!
didn't see any.
You're such a bastard.
You unfortunately do not spot any as you are traveling through this leg of the journey.
You tried.
You tried, yeah, you did try. But with a 6, I do need Lan, could you just roll me another D4, please?
While this is getting rolled, Andros would be specifically looking for a way to cross at this point.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. while he's
Absolutely
scouting.
fine. Yeah. That is, yes, absolutely fine. Yeah, and as you begin to cross, you find a shallower part of the river. You do have to wade through the water. There's no other way of getting across there. But you make sure that there are no dangers or whatever within the waters by you, and you're keeping an eye out for alligators or other such wildlife. And as you cross over, who's crossing first, please?
I will, of course, so I can clear,
yeah.
make sure it's safe, make sure nothing's around, and yeah.
Yeah.
We crossing the river?
Yeah, so he crosses the river to the other side first, and then stands there and waits for the rest of you.
While I do cross, I'm gonna make sure the current's not too strong to where anyone would get washed away. Because if I have to, I'll carry people across.
It's currently for you. It's knee height.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that seems to be the shallowest point. For everyone else, it's about waist.
I will not fully cross yet. I'll actually go back, and I'm going to offer to carry Shion and Erhard first, and then I'll make my way back to carry Maeve as well.
Absolutely fine.
How wide is this river?
The river is roughly about, I'd say, like 50 to 60 foot wide. It's quite a wide river, but it's the shallowest point that you've just got to. Everywhere else throughout the river would be probably for you guys about neck height. Andros obviously a lot lower, but Andros has found the best point to cross, which is knee height for him, thigh height for Arcturus, waist height for most of you, and then a little higher for Shion.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think I would like to try my new thing. So I would like to cast a Big Bee's Hand.
You cast the spell Bigby's Hand. Very nice. Which is called?
The Hand of the Familiar, which
the Hand of the Familiar. Very nice.
Essentially, Erhard stands there and goes like, "Olaf, come help me," and then raven wings kind of, I don't know, sprout from my body or like under my body, like of sorts, and then I can kind of
and a taloned hand appears before you as you ride the hand across. But before you do, wild magic surge. See if anything happens.
Do that. Sorry.
As a giant spectral raven looking like hand, like feathered hand with talons on it appears before.
19.
You're all good. As the hand carries you across, and then I'll say you grab Maeve and Shion, take them across, and then Arcturus starts.
It's like a minute long, right? And I can move it 60 feet every turn, so to speak. I could like send it back and get another person.
I can get both, and we can get over there in one swoop. So we're good.
I'll say maybe to help with the weight, you get the hand to grab the shopping bags and bring them over, just to give a little bit of help, just so it's a little bit easier for you. But you all get across to the river, and you set off straight away.
Keep going.
Okay, and as you keep going, Andros. It's at this point that you notice. You look down. Due to the whole river incident and carrying people over, you wasn't paying as much attention as you'd once hoped. And you've stumbled into an area of quicksand. As Andros, Shion, Maeve, and Arcturus, I need all of you to please make me a strength saving throw, as you are all stuck in the quicksand. However, Ahad, while floating on Bigby's hand for the 1 minute that you have, you've realized that this has happened, and know that you have about 30 seconds before, well, probably a little less, maybe about 15 seconds before you are about to plummet into quicksand yourself.
I try to get across as fast
as fast as you can,
and throw out my hempen rope so that potentially anyone can grab it.
Who do you throw it to? I'll let you choose one person in particular.
Well, not Andros, he's too heavy for me to do anything. I guess Arcturus, because Maeve potentially can turn into some animal.
And by some miracle, you see Shion manages to pull herself out of this but the rest of you don't move, as you are all stuck in the sand. And as you start to squirm and try to pull yourselves out, you start to sink more.
So would Andros freak out because he knows of quicksand, right? Because he's been raised in an area where quicksand would be. So would Andros not know? Okay, I need to stop, like before I freak out too much.
At this point, you know that the best course of action for this is to get yourself out as quickly as possible, because the more you sink, the harder it is to get out.
Yeah.
So you then at this point you try to get out quickly, realize that's not going to happen for you, and you begin to calm. Would Maeve and Arcturus calm, do you think?
Are you asking Andros?
I'm asking you two.
You're
Oh.
the character.
Oh,
It's your character.
No, it sounded like you're asking Andros if
Yeah.
he thought we would
No,
calm. so I
sorry,
was-
no. That was the end of his. Would you guys, do you think you'd calm? Do you think you'd know what quicksand would do and the best ways to get out of that?
Being a
I don't-
scientist, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that.
I don't think I would have ever encountered it. So unless I've somehow learned about it in a book in school up until the age of 8.
I would say not. I'd say that's
Okay.
a bit of a stretch, especially because you're not from a deserty climate or anywhere near one
Yeah.
in Elenasper.
No, that's
so,
fair.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Maeve's like, guys, hello, what's happening?
Okay, and as this happens, Shion, you manage to pull yourself out and get to a part of the sand that seems to be relatively safe, and you see Erhard, hand starts to flicker as he just dismounts from it and is on safe ground as well, but is holding one end of a rope and the other end is by Arcturus. So what do you guys do?
Grab on quick.
Am I close enough to the side, or how deep in this am I? Like where exactly in terms of like good land versus quicksand? Like where am I in this?
From where you and Shion are, there's about 15 foot.
15 foot. I'm going to summon my. Well, actually, from my experience, do I know if my shadow can actually physically touch me? Do I know if I can grab onto my shadow or not? From my experience
You
with that,
haven't tried.
I'm gonna try it. I'm actually gonna summon my echo or my shadow to out on the safe area.
And as Decatha's form appears near you,
Gonna
but within
reach-
15 foot,
I'm gonna reach
You
out.
reach out?
I reach out and try to see. I'm gonna like get me out of here. Like ask it to grab me and pull me.
the hand passes through yours.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
Maeve's still splattering around. I'm
Mhm.
probably sinking faster than the rest, so panicking even more.
Yep.
In a desperation, she will turn
You
into.
try again. Oh,
She will try turn it. Well, she'll turn into her fire form, which I think that we've agreed upon. I haven't
Yep.
changed yet.
absolutely fine. Yeah.
And she'll try to pass through the inch, the part of her that still sticks out, and transform out of it.
Yeah, not a
As she-
problem. Yeah, I will say that you start to panic, and whereas for Andros, it's up to his knees at this point. Arcturus is around the same sort of time as it's really started to sink in. Maeve, you are like, it's gone above your waist. You're like, you're sinking faster and faster and faster, and at this point, it gets to like your chest, and you're just like looking around, panicking, and then you just like this immediate like fire form as this phoenix then just appears. And because of the fiery nature of it, you manage to shoot out up into the air and escape from the quicksand itself.
Cool.
Andros
And-
and Arcturus, you two are
Yeah.
sinking, but much slower.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Is
guys try and
the-
get yourselves out? There's a rope near you, Arcturus, but
There's a rope.
Erhard is on the other end of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Looking at Erhard and like the rope, and I'm like, you're never gonna get me and Andros out of it on your own.
I'm not
even with
getting
combined
that
strength.
How far away is Arcturus from me?
I will say you were right at the front. He was right at the back. I will say there is a 40-foot gap between you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
I'll.
Can I fly over to them?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't speak to them, But I'll reach out down my talon to Arcturus. If he reaches out, I'll grab him.
I'll try to.
I will allow
Raise it.
Arcturus. Arcturus can make a strength saving throw advantage.
You will burn.
You will take some
Sorry.
damage. Yep.
If that's it, well, it's a 19, luckily.
A 19 is enough, as you do pull yourself out, and then, yeah, you drag him towards the safe bit, but Andros is still stuck in there. Andros, do you try and get out during this time?
I have to now. Yeah, I'll try to get myself
Make
out.
a strength save.
17.
17 is enough because the DC increases each time you fail, as you do manage to pull yourself out and then very quickly, light-footedly, tiptoe across to the edge as you guys have overcome this obstacle of the journey.
So just for technicalities, what is the damage I got from Maeve's fire talon?
1d10?
Yes, 1d10, so I'll roll it for you.
Erhard would just
7 fire damage.
Erhard would sheepishly pull back his robe and be like, I tried. They didn't care.
You just pull the rope back. No one even attempted to grab it.
No one even cares.
There you go. And you guys continue on your journey. Just so that we can wrap this third day up. A scout, please roll me a survival check. Any lookouts, roll me a perception check. Scorpion lookouts, roll me a perception check.
I have another bardic inspiration I give to the scout.
Okay, go for it.
And
I'll roll for scout.
Guidance
Is this
on
6?
Scorpion.
I will also do perception with the whole. 22 with sight, right?
Yeah.
He gets advantage. Cool.
Yeah, my perception's at advantage as well, so that's actually a 16.
Maeve.
No!
Just as you're leaving, you see a scorpion sinking into the sand. And just as you go, you
Little
look back towards
bastards.
it as the giant phoenix, you see it sink into one of the holes that one of you have just left.
Could I still bend luck for Arcturus, or would I be too busy giving bardic inspiration or something?
You could bend luck, I'll allow that.
Cool.
Not for what it's worth, but Max just gave you a Maeve inspiration.
Me? Oh, can I reroll?
Sure, yeah, because we're
I had
about
to
to end the
use it.
session. That's fine.
So,
yeah.
Arcturus, you can add another 1d4
To your
for my
roll,
bend
yeah.
luck. Oh my god.
So it's a total of 10, was that, for Arcturus?
10, yeah.
1,
Okay, cool.
2, 5.
And then a 16 plus 1, so
19.
Isn't that an?
Oh, sorry.
no.
Sorry, yeah. That's also a 17.
17. You find
Yeah.
another scorpion nearby,
Oh,
and
that's
you
not
try and catch
sinking.
it. Not sinking. No, it's all good.
Okay. Cool. Thanks. Yes, I'll try and
Did you
catch
grab it?
I grabbed one of the vials that I have from my herbalist
You're a
kit, and I tried.
phoenix.
Oh well, no, I would have as soon as I'm not in the sand
revert
anymore.
down?
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, just
Like,
so I'm aware,
well, I mean,
'cause
on
obviously,
safe sand.
yeah, because obviously that's your uses for the day. So I just wanted to make sure that your wild
I-
magic uses.
It'll
Just-
have to be that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Just so I clarify. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You go back
got
to
it.
Maeve form, you pull out a vial, absolutely fine. Yeah, I won't even make you roll for it. You just catch this scorpion that you've been dying to catch for like 2 days. So you get
Yeah.
one. You're all good. Okay. Going back to Arcturus, you did a whopping 10, okay? And Andros, you got a 13.
16.
with-
16.
Oh yeah, advantage. Thank you. 16 with the Hawk getting a 22 as you guys travel through. Lan, just really quickly roll me a d20, please. Thank you. And then we'll wrap things up as we see what happens. 18, perfect. You guys have an uneventful second half of this this day. So we wrap up the third day. You guys bed down. You get your dome, and as you all do, Arcturus. You sit there staring at the space, thinking about Kada. Did you try to summon her?
Out of some sort of desperation, yes.
You follow the procedures that Ahad told you. You spend time to cast the spell of Find Familiar. But what appears before you is not Kada. It's not a dragon. A small ice goblin appears before you as one of the minions is now your familiar, with which you are able to adapt its form to what suits you best. And as you spend some time to adapt the form of this ice goblin-like creature before you, smaller, it's not as tall as a goblin, it's about 1 foot and 1.5 foot tall. It has the goblin-like pointy ears, the nose, and it's slender. It's much skinnier than like a normal goblin size, but a small little goblinoid-like form appears before you. And you have just summoned an ice boggle. And I think that is where we will end the session, as a new familiar is formed. It is gone 10 o'clock, which is our usual time for finishing. So, yeah, we'll be back next week, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. With just a couple of days out from Chartusa, potentially. If they get some good rolls, they might be able to expedite this little travel up. And, yeah, we'll catch you guys next week to see if they head over towards Chartusa. So, guys, where are we? Oh no, go around the room. Go around the room. Tell us where you can find us. Tim and Lan, why don't you take it away together?
Quick, now they're quiet.
Twitch, YouTube, me, Tim, Lan over the other, and these guys.
These guys.
We're squirming throughout the entire session, so yeah.
That's okay. They just want to be on the TVs.
So is
They
this
wanna
now
be on
my
the-
eyes familiar or?
Yeah, it's a little ice boggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little baby. Okay, awesome. Eagle, take it away.
Hello, you can find me over here a lot of times playing D&D, and you can also find me on YouTube with Patty Max, a good friend of ours, and Onion, where we do the Pokemon 3-way Soul Link randomized through Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. And then, yeah, other than that, make sure you guys follow the socials and keep up to date. As Onion's mentioned, this is the pretty much the last arc, I guess, as it might be called, the last arc of the Iron Vortex.
Yeah, it certainly is. We are definitely wrapping up towards the finale and what you guys have built up to this entire campaign. You know, you started the campaign as Shion and Arcturus as slaves to Malakesh. That's now been broken.
Dobby
Freedom.
is a free elf.
Yeah, socks have been given out.
We have a sock.
No.
Speaking of socks, he's been very quiet. As I believe he's still in the ring, right?
Well, I would have. I didn't want to make the session longer than it was with it being traveling, but I'd like to think he was out during like our breaks and nighttime,
Okay, cool.
but
yeah.
not whilst we're in the sun.
And speaking of socks, Smitty.
Socks, I wear them, but I also have one. You can find me on Twitch every Friday over here, playing a half-elf druid barbarian, of course, because what else would you do? And otherwise, you can find me on Twitch streaming of my own channel. I'm currently playing through Tears of the Kingdom. I'm taking my time with it. I've played for 40 hours, and I'm still not even halfway through. So, but I'm really enjoying it. So you can find me do that maybe 2 or 3 times a week as well.
Awesome, awesome. And to the other side of the screen, we have Zeb. Take it away.
I don't wear socks because it's way hot, but I stream over on my channel.
Same.
Mondays and Wednesdays now. I play Crusader Kings 3 at the moment, playing some Jewish count into Jerusalem. And Tuesdays and Thursdays I play Going Medieval, which has like huge weather and temperature effects now overhauled, and it's very fun. So yeah, if you like those kind of strategy simulation games, feel free to stop by.
Awesome, awesome. And yeah, it's me now. Hello. Yeah, I'm the Onion Soup. I do oniony and soupy things over on YouTube, where I play the Pokemon randomized hardcore Soul Link with our good friend the Eagle Outlaw here, and also the amazing Paddy Max, who we do we upload one every week, and definitely on Sundays. Definitely. So yeah, cool. Other than that, we'll be back next week with some more fun. And maybe a guest joining us, which might be news to a few people. But maybe
what?
a guest joining us for oh, did that just glitch out?
You're getting robotic, I guess.
Frozen.
Oh.
Now it's better.
Okay, well, maybe a guest joining us. Dum dum dum. Drop spoilers, because even these guys didn't know. But yeah, so we should be having some fun with that as they come and join us and have all the good funs and good games and stuffs over there. So who are we raiding today?
And Eagle, I'm very disappointed that we are like 73 sessions in and you still don't get the tag.
Huh?
Social the follows.
Okay.
Oh, does he...
Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't matter. We're rating Robert Hartley GM. I'm not sure what I mean. Smitty, you want to take it away? What are they doing?
They're doing some type of world building, I think. They're doing something along the lines of a forest god. I'm not sure what that means exactly, but he's a DM, or they're a DM, I should say. And it looks like they're doing some lore or world building.
Sweet.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Right, well, we're going to head on over there. Guys, much love. Have a wonderful weekend. It is quite sunny out there, just like it is in Quirin, so make sure you put some sunscreen on and all that good stuff if you need to. But yeah, we'll catch you next week for some more D&D funs in the hot, hot desert of Quirin. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.